North American Simulation Racing Association, featuring online leagues like the DSR Electric, Blanchard towing and recovering Xfinity, concerns of police survivors. Jacob and Wesley bringing you all the commentating. Is there beef? Is there beef? This racing is so exciting. They rock the Nashville network. That Beagle's cracking them up in the background. It is racing at Atlanta. It is racing at Talladega. Never turn right. Ooh, go baby, go. Don't you curse tonight. As a Brady, the boss man is lessening. Oh dear, let's go racing. Coding up with all the graphics. Jeff Merck pulling all the facial reactions. Jordan is spoken like DD4 AC and a white crane. And we're gonna have fun right now in this moment. Let's race, let's green light and go. Let's enjoy the race. Like and subscribe, so to see the unicorn that Murph and Magic remake. Don't you believe in unicorns? Do we want Barney? Barney, it's time to wave the flag. Green flag, go black, go, go, go. What do you want? Door banging, trucks being turned to find out what grandma.
Reach up there and pull those belts tight one more time. Drivers, start your engines!
Starbase 1552 Comics. We sell everything a collector would want. Comics, Funkos, action figures, and so many more. A real American comic book shop. We are online only. Starbase 1552 Comics. Find us on eBay Auctions.
Are you ready?
For Murph's Magical Creations. Home to custom laser engraving and gifts. This veteran-owned and operated company engraves for all occasions. If you want one of Murph's Magical Creations, call the number on your screen or commission through either Instagram or via email. Murph's Magical Creations, made with love for you.
Of the NASRA Blanchard's Towing Xfinity Series. Brady LaBeouf will win the championship and the race in the Butt Kicker 250.
Keith Bradley gets his second championship on the Friday Night Series with the Concerns of Police Survivors Truck Series Season 8. His rookie season, he will win the championship for the Concerns of Police Survivors Truck Series.
Gentlemen, start your engines.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the first race of the Elite 12 here for the Blanchard's Towing Xfinity Series for season number 3. Very first race here in the Elite 12. We're going to find out who's going to get a win here tonight and lock themselves in to the Championship 6 right here at the Monster Mile Dover International Speedway. Should be a good one here this evening, folks. Good evening. I'm the Redneck announcer, Jake Reeves. Smithfield, North Carolina's own West of that will be joining us here shortly. I'm assuming other broadcasting obligations, but he'll be joining us here shortly. And obviously, Australian Dean Hopton Biggles on production this evening. And, folks, Dover is one of those tracks where it will literally jump up and bite you. I talk about tracks that will jump up and bite you. This track can jump up and bite you. Literally, they call it the Monster Mile for a damn reason. It will literally eat you up. Monster Mile, 1 mile in length, 4 turns, concrete all the way around it. And depending on how you drive it and how your mindset is going into it, you're probably going to hate it. Anyway, coming up right here, got the grid lined up. Octavio Rondoletto in the house. Obviously, literally on a pretty good streak right now. Obviously, 2 races in the Sweet 20 that he won. He's going to start from the pole here tonight and try to lock himself into the Championship 6. Lautaro Lamperti will start in the second spot, so the Argentinians up there on the front row. Dean Doucette, Colin Weatherholt is going to be 3rd and 4th, with Drew Ballesteros and Michael Larch 5th and 6th. Charles Joplin's going to be P7, with Ryan Tiny Horse Johnson will start in P8. Bernard Pearson will start in P9, and Alabama's own Jonathan Cofield will start 10th. Austin Evie, Lucas Lyons start 11th and 12th. Darren Bruce and Jeffrey Johnson Jr. 13th and 14th. Those are the drivers to take a qualifying time. Rest of these drivers did not take a qualifying time because of possible EOL penalties from last week's race at Richmond, which was eventful. But anyway, Tristan Bruce, Greg McConey, Adam Newton, Trevor C. Williams, Dean Gagliano, Gerald Poole, Tyler Goodwin, 21 drivers that will start here this evening. TJ Moore is your race director. And Folks, I didn't actually have a chance to put out an episode, for the door bang and download and have the engine heat and everything. As you actually see your playoff grid right there on your screen. Obviously, Rondeletto, Weatherholt, Johnson, Bruce, Lamperti, Doucette. Those are the big dogs trying to make it into the next round. Watch out for Jonathan Cofield, Justin White right there in the middle of that. Lucas Lyons, a driver that we really need to keep our eyes on right now. Lucas Lyons can really have a shot jump in there, and obviously Persons has been doing good. But, folks, I didn't really have a whole lot of time this past week to put out an episode. That's what I was getting at. And there was a lot of chaos that obviously happened last week at Richmond. It was good stuff. We love it. I love it. That's just how I am. I'm sure Wesley Outland loved it to a certain extent, but hopefully we can have a little bit of chaos here tonight at Dover and see who's going to lock himself into the next round. There you see Dover, Talladega, Atlanta. I'm here in the Legacy Atlanta, and then we'll go all the way to Homestead, which every single one of you knows. That is exactly where I feel like that a championship should be decided, is at Homestead, Miami. They're going to come around this time, get them 2 pace laps. Got 3 drivers right here with driver cams. Greg McConey, Octavio Rondeletto, Tiny Horse, Ryan Johnson. He's got that big old trophy back there in the background, always trying to show it off, trying to make all of us look bad and think, wish we could be Tiny Horse because of the trophy and everything else. Rondeletto's kind of just in his own little world, and obviously Greg McConey had the gloves on as well. And folks, I talked a little bit about Dover, how this track is and what it can be, and the Monster Mile and everything else. And old school race fans is where we are getting the one to go right here coming down the backstretch. A lot of old school race fans will sit there and think, Charlotte Motor Speedway, that was the house that Jimmy Johnson built. Well, I hate to break it to you, I'm going to hurt your damn feelings. Right here is where Jimmy Johnson's house is right here. 10 wins to his credit in the NASCAR Cup Series, whichever series that you want to call it. Winston Cup, Nextel, Sprint, Monster Energy, whatever. He has got the most wins here at this track of 10. And who's going to try to pull a Jimmy Johnson performance here this evening? We'll see what happens as green flag is in the air and the Elite 12 is underway. Rondeletto, Lamperti up here going at it. Argentina is trying to go at it for the lead. Here comes Dean Doucette down to the inside. Lamperti tries to come down. Fell that hole. Not able to do it. Ballesteros is going to try to get a run. Lamperti slaps the fence off of turn number 2. Ballesteros down to the inside. Dean Doucette trying to see if he can get clear for second. Ballesteros now battles for third as Rondeletto trying to check out to you, Dean.
Good evening, everybody. Absolutely fantastic racing so far. Out of the gate, mates, like racehorses here. And they're getting it done here for the Millie's Restaurant 200. We got stage breaks on the way. Here's the race details as well, 2 in the corner, as we're riding currently on board with Lamperti.
Absolutely. There you see it right there. Stage 1 at 50.
Whoa!
Stage 2.
There's Dean Doucette.
Dean Doucette goes around. Oh, baby. We may have a little bit of beef right there. I got a feeling. I wouldn't key it up yet. Don't ring the bell. I tell you what, screw it. Ring the bell. Go ahead. I got a feeling we got some beef right here between Dean Doucette and Charles Joplin. Think there may have been a little bit of contact. Joplin might have got tight right there coming off turn 4. Slides up, gets into the left rear, spins Doucette around. You see it once again, Joplin down on the bottom side. The Canadian Dean Doucette up top. Right here, Joplin just kind of comes up. Honestly, I don't know where the hell he thinks he's going. He just comes up like he thinks he's clear. Tags him in the left rear, spins it around. And Dean Doucette, hard impact, mind you, into the inside retaining wall. Thankfully, not nose first, because if he was nose first, oh, that would have probably been an ender right there. He literally would have been done. But back in first should be okay. I'm looking to see if he's got a meatball flag. He does not. And there you see the contact right there. Joplin trying to jump up and get in behind Dean Doucette. Ends up getting him. Wow, a little bit of air right there behind Dean Doucette. Back in, kind of steps up. Gets a little bit of air time. And Charles Joplin, yes, he will get that EOL penalty. He is busted. So he will get sent to the back right here as we got a couple guys going in. Obviously, Dean Doucette, one of those drivers that will elect to go down pit road. Another one is Tyler Goodwin. He goes down, and Jeffrey Johnson Jr., a couple drivers, is going to jump down pit road. Folks, hope you're having a fantastic evening here on a great Tuesday night with the Blanchard's Towing Xfinity Series. If you haven't got your chance yet, go to the fridge and grab you a cold one. We'll be right back here at Dover.
Reach up there and pull those belts tight one more time. Drivers, start your engine!
Folks, we're back here at Dover, and there you saw right there. Well, I'm telling you, Dean, I mean, we're getting so damn close to that NASRA 500. I mean, literally, you can literally smell the beaches of Daytona, literally, because the NASRA 500 Great American Sim Race, obviously, what was the Podium 500 now is the NASRA 500 from what happened with the falling out of Podium and everything else. I've talked about that. We've talked about that on the door hanging down low, but if you want to hear about that, go check that out. But anyway, there you see the lineup and how everything's going to be literally all week long next week. You got to get your fill. If you love your Super Speedway Racing, go check it out. And if you haven't yet signed up, make damn sure you do it. If you haven't, do it. Please do it. Over 100 people have signed up. I'm hearing, give or take, around 150. And we're only taking 43 drivers. So if you feel froggy, come join us next week for the NASRA 500. Try to go after that $2,000 prize to win. As Ron Deletto could be one of those drivers trying to go for it. As we got a caution back here in the back there, and Bruce in the 14 goes around. And another one, is that Bernard Pearson? I believe it is. And the 8, Darren Bruce, Bernard Pearson, a driver in that Elite 12. Pearson goes around. Not 100% exactly what happened. We'll check it out right here once again on the instant replay. And actually, matter of fact, it was between both of them, literally. We saw Bruce and we saw Pearson. Matter of fact, hell, they both ended up making contact, literally going into turn 1. You'll see. Dean, I mean, this is close right here. I mean, if we could get kind of like a back shot or kind of like a blimp cam, because it kind of looks like, honestly, I'm looking at it, and Pearson's actually holds his line right here. It kind of looks like, I mean, it does kind of look like Bruce comes down and Pearson holds his line, but you can literally argue the case either way. The Pearsons come up or say Bruce comes down. I mean, you can literally argue it either way.
That is 6 to 1, half a dozen to the other for sure on that one. And we'll go back and have a look at the blimp cam. Maybe perhaps even we'll get to the chopper. And take a geezer at that. It is just on the race restart, of course. Cold tires for some of the drivers, but there they go. Just a tiny, tiny little tap, mate. Little off tap. And then they go around.
Boy.
What I was amazed at, too, Jacob, is the fact that nobody else got collected in that incident. So just those two drivers managed to fall to the end of the field, but really no damage.
Yeah, I mean, that's just kind of a tight spot right there. I mean, Austin Evie kind of tried to jam on the brakes, wasn't able to pull it off. And ended up kind of getting into the back of Pearson, ended up spinning him around just a little bit there. You see Octavio Rondoletto down there in the bottom right-hand corner. Obviously, folks, remember, 2 out of the past 3 races, this man has won. And he's literally been putting it on them. Obviously, there you see it right there. Michigan Darlington, he won both of those races. Lamperti won the last race at Richmond, which was, obviously, Dean, we know, it was eventful. It really was. And beefy, if you want to call it that. I mean, I at least remember that much, Dean. I haven't really been around, I wasn't around Wednesday, and then I ain't really been a whole lot around Nazareth over the past couple of days. But I will say this, last week, I'm going to have to talk about it on the podcast this week. I got to, because just so much stuff that happened last week. It has to be brought up. A shout out to all 41 of you out there in the live chat. If you haven't yet, like, subscribe to the Nazareth 360 Racing Network. But, Dave, I'll tell you, baby, I don't know. I mean, it's been a whole week. Last week, baby, it was beefy here on the Tuesday Night Series.
Jacob, you love your beef, don't you? Absolutely. Well, we got plenty of beef probably brewing up tonight, mate. We are into our second caution, and we've only had a handful of laps under green flag conditions, so let's see if we can get some racing going. Thank you, everybody. Make sure you subscribe and like and support this fantastic racing league for the Nazareth 360 Racing Network, and of course the Xfinity Series. We have many different racing, usually Monday to Friday, with Thursdays for the podcast, but at the moment, remember, the Sons of Police Survivors will be off for a little while, Jacob, because they just wrapped up their championship, won by Mr. Jordan Dorasic. And as we're deep into the playoffs of this one, we've got the Cup Series coming tomorrow night. I don't think we'll have a podcast because both Brady and Tyler and Cody are all very, very busy. Let's get ready to go racing once again.
Absolutely, folks. Right there, obviously, we've had 2 quick cautions right here in the first 10 laps, and they're going to have to hurry up or I'm going to end up running out of beer. Green flag in the air. Rondoletto, he's going to try to get away. Weatherholt, Ballesteros, both of them battling it out for second, door-to-door with one another. Ballesteros got the inside. Weatherholt kicked up to the top side. Right behind him, you got Tidy Horse. You got Lawrence. You got Lucas Lyons back here. All these guys duking it out. Cofield has shot up here. He started 10th. He's all the way up to 6th. But Rondoletto has the lead. But for how long? Ballesteros in the 54. There may be some kryptonite after all. Ballesteros starting to run down Rondoletto right here early on here in the Millie's Restaurant and Catering 200.
Here he comes, his 54 machine. Staring down the Argentine's number 48 car, seeing what he can do at the moment. Fastest lap just set by Drew, so he's definitely on a rampage. 23.43. Gets a little twirly in the corner there. Got to stick his nose in. Come see a Cardassian plastic surgeon, but he doesn't need to worry about that at this point because we have another caution, third for the Surf Pro.
And, I really got to go to the live chat on this one, Dean, if I may, because, we got obviously Suss racing out there, which is Joshua Suss for all of you. Great supporter of Nazareth. Here's to a calm, cool, and collective live chat. Then obviously he throws the beer signs up, and then, that didn't take long. So I got beef with Joshua Suss because he basically jinxed us because we got 3 straight cautions right here. He basically jinxed us. Trevor Williams right here, getting a little bit of contact right here from Greg McConey. Williams actually bailed out of the race. He is gone. And obviously there you see the contact and why he is gone. And, Dean, it kind of looked like Williams kind of trying to check up. He's got Person right in front of him. He's got Tristan Bruce up top. He's riding on board with Greg McConey right here. And watch Greg. Greg dives down to the inside. Trevor goes up top. You can run a middle lane here, depending on how it is. But it really looks like that Trevor just kind of checks up right here, thinking, maybe something, he don't want to run into Tristan Bruce. And the bad part about it is Greg McConey, he was already in the throttle. He wasn't lifting. He ends up tagging him in the left rear, sends him around, sends him straight into the inside retaining walls. So bad deal, or bad beat, I guess you could say, for Trevor C. Williams. And he better watch his back door because Greg McConey Greg McConey better be watching his back door because Trevor Williams will probably be coming after him. Is there you see Greg McConey getting the EOL.
Yeah, there it is at the moment. So he's got a smile on his face. Of course, he's realised it's early days in this race. T15 at 200 certainly can fight your way back on that one. I think you just take it with a grain of salt on that, and there it is. So we'll return back to the EOL, and we'll get ready to re-rack and restack them all over again. So Going to keep an eye out to the Lampedia further back here at the moment. He is... I got too many buttons to press there, Jacob. He currently is down a couple of places from where he started. Started in P2, currently in 4th. Hasn't led a lap of the race yet. But, them two are like, mate, when they get together, they can definitely powerhouse their way to the end of this race. Of course, race details are up as follows. Stage 1 will go to lap 50 if we get there at this point, Jacob, because at the moment we haven't had that many green flag races, green flag laps under our belt. Then we'll get to stage 2, which will be a caution. Not that I won't be surprised we will have one, and we'll get to 200. 3 green, white checkers and 100% fuel, but with only 4 tire sets.
Damn, Dean. I mean, just tell us how you really feel about what you said. I mean, come on now. Let's not hide our feelings. We never do here. Obviously on the NAS 360 Racing Network. But here we go. Rondeletto Ballesteros, front row. Weatherholt, Lamperti up there, 3rd and 4th. Jonathan Cofield, one of the big movers, 10th up to 5th. Obviously, Adam Newton back there, he didn't qualify. He started back to 17th spot. He's all the way up to 10th. And check this out right here, just the bacon. Check this out right here, folks, if we can, just for this split second right here. That transition going into turn number 3 and going into turn 1, it's like a damn roller coaster. I mean, obviously each and every one of you's rolled on the roller coaster. You go into 3 and 1, it will literally rock you. I mean, it'll literally bottom out. I mean, even on a sim, and you're going to see a lot of that here this evening. I'll tell you what, for Weston Allen, he ain't here yet, Dean. Let's crank it up here on lap 17 here for the Millies. Restaurant and Catering 200.
Cranked it up, all right. My eardrums are bleeding. Here we go, Jacob. Drew has another opportunity to try to take it to the showman, Mr. Octavio. Drew currently in 2nd place, started in P5, currently in 2nd. He's up 3 places, and he hasn't led a lap yet.
Well, I mean, and folks, anybody that's been following a lot of NASRA will remember the last time that NASRA as a whole was here at Dover. That is when, honestly, I mean, it was one of the wildest finishes that I've ever seen here at NASRA. Obviously, MDW and Ryan Tiny Horse Johnson, both of them kind of having their little quote-unquote spat, as we may end up having another damn spat. We already got another caution here on the racetrack, and I'm looking through the field trying to figure out exactly who it was. I saw a glimpse of Austin Evie in the 98. Yes, Austin Evie in the 98. Might have got a little bit of a love tap. And the Bulldog, Adam Newton. Oh, wow. Oh, folks, this is going to be bad. And Adam Newton's really going to look back on this one, and he's going to be like, wow, because I don't know if that looked intentional. I mean, Dean, I'll tell you what. We'll let Adam Newton come after you. Do you think that was intentional or not right there? What do you think?
No, not at all, Jacob. Look at that.
Come on.
He slipped up there. Cold tires, bingo. Endured him. I don't know. It's they're picking up speed, and they're about to, we just got underway, so yeah, that's all I say. I'll say, Jacob. I don't think there's any beef.
Shame on you.
No beef.
Shame on you, Bulldog. Shame on you.
No beef.
You won't have beef, but, that's going to at least be my take on it. I tell you what. Got a couple of drivers right here. Going to go down pit road, obviously Austin Evie. Smoke tires right there, because this track will end up burning up some tires. Austin Evie, Jeffrey Johnson Jr., Greg McConey, Dean Doucette. The only drivers to go down pit road. I'm going to go to the fridge. I'm going to grab me a couple cold ones. This sucker's getting long. You've been watching the Blanchard's Towing Xfinity Series here live on the NASRA 360 Racing Network.
Are you ready?
For Murph's Magical Creations. Home to custom laser engraving and gifts. This veteran-owned and operated company engraves for all occasions. If you want one of Murph's magical creations, call the number on your screen or commission through either Instagram or via email. Murph's Magical Creations, made with love for you.
Folks, we're back here at Dover. Obviously, Octavio Rondoletto, that is. He's literally led, well, literally every lap. He hadn't missed one yet. Drew Ballesteros started fifth. He's up here in second. He's got a shot. He's pretty close. We'll see what happens. Colin Weatherholt started fourth. He's up to third. The big loser out of everything so far has been Lautaro Lamperti. Started second. He's back to sixth. And the real loser out of everything has been Dean Doucette, who started third in the second row, and he's all the way back in 20th, trying to claw his way back up here to the front. Green flag in the air. Rondoletto trying to get away. Ballesteros battling with Weatherholt. Weatherholt down to the inside, trying to get him a win right here in the playoffs and lock himself in and not have to worry about nothing. But he has literally got drivers all around him, Dean. He's got Rondoletto in front of him, Ballesteros and Lamperti right behind him, and he's kind of stuck in the middle. He's really got to find something right here and find something that these guys have not found yet to be able to find some speed.
Speed, give me what I need. That's exactly what these drivers are trying to pick up at the moment there. We're going to get some good green flag battles hopefully going here in our stage one break, because we're going to get to that lap 50 in order to call that one, as Colin has now made his way up. Mr. Weatherbolt bolting his way up into P2, 2 positions gain at the moment. Octavio still in the lead, commanding this race.
Weatherholt better watch his back door, better watch his inside. Drew Ballesteros in the 54. Weatherholt slides right out of the way, and Ballesteros says, thank you very much. I'll take that spot. He may end up thinking going a little bit further, Dean. He was diving to the inside, showing the nose, trying to get around Rondoletto right here. And honestly, Rondoletto, well, I would say if we were going by old school points, as far as, say, playoff points, if it carried all the way to the Elite 12, if they did, I mean, honestly, Rondoletto, he'd literally have it made all the way to the end. But here's the problem. Everything reset, Dean. Everything is reset. Everybody's back to square one, I guess you could say. And so now Rondoletto has no bonus points in his bag. Weatherholt has no bonus points in his bag. Lamperti, Cofield, Johnson, none of these guys have any bonus points to bail them out if something happens right here. So Rondoletto, obviously, he's got a shot, and he's one of those championship 6 drivers that we could see go all the way to Homestead. But he needs to get a win, or he needs to be consistent. And Ballesteros is really making it difficult for him right now.
Let's watch this action continue, Jacob. I know you got it all covered at the moment. Just trying to fix something in the background. My apologies here on the broadcast.
Well, what you got going on back there? What's the deal?
I'm always working on something in the background here, mate. There's always something to fix.
You didn't spill your Coca-Cola again,
No,
did
did
you?
not. No, I did not.
He spilled his Coke last week at Richmond, folks.
Just like iRacing, we're forced to put the iRacing logo up, of course, when you're broadcasting iRacing, even though we pay for it. We're forced by Coca-Cola to announce to everybody in the world that when you're drinking a Coca-Cola, you have to tell everybody.
I guess
we're doing it the iRacing approach.
We got a lead slipping right out of Rondoletto's hands while we're trying to give it a little bit of entertainment to you 32 out there live watching. And Ballesteros said, excuse me, NASRA 360 Racing Network. Y'all can go ahead and shut up and talk about the 54 up here at the front. Shoots down to the inside. Rondeletto might have let him go, but Ballesteros got that run, got down to the inside. Rondeletto really didn't. He didn't have a choice. Ballesteros to the lead, and now Lamperti has shot up here to third. He's got Weatherholt, Cofield, Johnson, Lyons, Bruce, all these guys battling behind him. But Ballesteros starting to literally put on a whooping right here and start pulling away from the rest of the field.
Here he comes, man. The man now has finally got some laps led next to his name. They have 4 positions gained. Look at the gap that he has, Jacob. That is quite a bit on a short track already. 6/10, almost 7/10 over both the Argentinian duos. That's what I was looking for.
Julios, duos, what? Wow. I won't even have to drink anymore. You're already messing me up. But anyway, here's the thing, though, folks. Ballesteros getting out here and running these fast lap times that he is. You can go back and we'll look at times as far as that. As Ballesteros running 23.9s. Rondeletto obviously running same thing, 23.9s. Lamperti running 24.0s. Cofield 23.9s. Weatherholt running 24.2s, which is kind of weird to say that Weatherholt's running that. Lyons behind him running 23.8s that time. He might have hit the NOS button going through one of the corners. But the same fact remains is that it's like I was talking about. Obviously, some of these guys running close to what they're running in qualifying, but Dean, there is a spot. There is a certain time, which obviously they haven't run a whole lot of times or a whole lot of laps under green because of the earlier cautions that we've had. Now, we will end up getting a caution right here at lap 50 that will end at stage number 1. But the thing about it is, the more these guys drive and the more these guys start putting heat in these tires, I will guarantee you right now, you will see some tire wear, especially in these Xfinity cars. You've already seen Greg McConey go way up against the wall. He opens the door for Tiny Horse and Darren Bruce to dive down to the inside.
There he is, looking over to the right-hand side of his screen there. He's got 2 cars up the road there to try to figure out how to get past, where to get past, if he can get past, and stay out of that fence, Mr. McConey.
One thing, I will say this, let's not change the camera real quick. Want to go back to the real cam, if by all means, to show Greg McConey if we can. You can show it outside the car if you want to, Dean, but I wanted to show something right here, is that he's wearing gloves. Now, obviously, I race in a Wednesday night NASRA Cup Series. I don't wear gloves. I can't wear them because if I do, it feels weird. I'm not able to grab a hold of the wheel. I'm not being able to have the feel. It's very, very cool, to see people. I'm not sure, Dean, if it's really him taking it one step to where it's wanting to try to be as realistic as possible, or if literally racing with gloves on, because certain wheels and everything else, it will literally start to wear the wheels out, because I've got a T300, Thrustmaster wheel that I've got, and I've raced with it so much and not have gloves on and everything, it's literally wearing the leather off of it. So there's, it's pretty cool, to see people wear gloves. As you see Tiny Horse Ryan Johnson, he isn't wearing gloves. I believe Rondeletto, I can't remember, Dean. What's he got? Is he wearing gloves? Let's see if Rondeletto's wearing gloves, because I don't remember if he's wearing gloves or not. I think he is. Matter of fact. Let's see. Yes. So, you got a couple guys wearing some gloves, and honestly, Rondeletto, he may be pulling a little bit of a baseball tactic right here. He has caught Ballesteros and has literally caught him, got him out, threw him all the way back, and Rondeletto, he's trying to run to the dugout as fast as he possibly can. Rondeletto back to the lead.
This is the time to get it done. You got 7 laps now to the stage break, mate. So, when you want to move, get those stage points. Of course, they're going to be crucial when it comes to the playoff there. In case you don't get that race win, they will all help. And the man from Argentina, the showman, says, bingo, I can do it. Now, can Drew fight back here for the 54 machine? He's up 3 places, and he wants it back there. He's not a happy camper that it was taken away from him, but he knows that to make your move, you only need to make it in the last couple of corners on the last lap of the stage break.
we'll see how that ends up working out, as we're actually seeing a little bit of you, or a little bit of comments out there in the live chat. And we really want to open up, some of y'all get out there. I mean, obviously we might have scared the hell out of a lot of people last week from what happened in Richmond, but obviously we do want some feedback out there in live chat. Let us know what you got going on here on a Tuesday night. Let us know what you're drinking. Let us know what you got going on. Let us know how you, how your day's been. However you want to look at it. Got Jessica Williams out there saying Trevor Williams' son is named after Cole Trickle. I'm gonna tell you right now. I mean, Dean, we were talking about Days of Thunder a while back.
Yeah.
I mean, you can't get much more diehard than that right there. To name your son after Cole Trickle. I tell you what. We were thinking David D. You know what? We're gonna keep it David D. But just for the spite of this right here, hell with it. Russ Reeves. After you're from Russ Wheeler, I mean, why not? I mean, it actually has a pretty good ring, double R to it. I mean, I'm not gonna do that, folks. My wife will kill me. But anyway, very cool to see that kind of dedication with some of the fans out there. To just show their passion for racing, and it's awesome to see.
Well, have you ever seen the one of the episodes of with George in the Seinfeld? He says, best name to call your children, Soda. Soda.
George is nuts. I will say that.
Have you ever seen that episode? It's
nuts.
Soda. And here we go. We're coming down to the final stages of our stage 1, and Octavia the Showman's in a strong-looking position. He's got a big gap out of Drew.
Absolutely. The Showman really starting to put a whooping on him right now. Obviously, 2 to go right here in stage number 1. Ballesteros had a shot up there. Looked like he was going to have a pretty good shot at it. I mean, he ran him down, and then unfortunately, he dove down to the inside, had a shot. It just didn't work out for him. And Rondeletto drove right by him. Here we go. Last lap, coming to the white flag, give or take, of stage number 1. Rondeletto, obviously talked about it. 2 out of the last 3 races has won. Obviously with Michigan and Darlington. And now he's trying to literally cement himself into making it straight into that championship 6, getting him a win at Dover off 3 and 4. Octavio Rondeletto takes it to the line. He will win stage number 1. Waiting on the caution. There it is. So Rondeletto, Ballesteros, Lamperti, Cofield, Weatherholt, the top 5 will receive stage points. The rest of them to receive stage points. Lucas Lyons, Tristan Bruce, Bernard Pearson, Charles Joplin, and Tiny Horse Ryan Johnson. Looks like he's got a little bit of left rear damage right there on that number 38. Might have had some beef with one of the other drivers. But Rondeletto, you saw him right there on the real cam and sim cam, however you want to look at it, Dean. Rondeletto, another stage win for him right here.
He's getting used to it, isn't he? He has a big smile on his face, but he's more looking for the victory of the overall race, and he knows that a crucial bunch of stage points is what he will need, and secure that basically as your insurance policy, isn't it? In case you don't win the race, you got to go crucial stage points up there. They're going to head down into pit lane as they go.
And every single one of them, yes, Dean, every single one of them going to go down. I expect everybody to go for 4 fresh tires and fill it up full of fuel. Obviously, the tire set limit was for 4, but obviously that's 3 in the pits, 1 on the car. You got to count the one that is on the car. As we're seeing out there, Bo Tiffany. Bo, where have you been? I ain't seen Bo in a long time, but he's enjoying some Childress 2019 Cabernet Reserve for the race.
Oh.
I have no
2019.
idea where he went. Yeah.
That's a red wine.
Oh.
Yes.
Well, when I see Childress, I'm thinking Richard Childress.
Red wine. Bo Tiffany's enjoying it.
Anyway,
should come out ahead.
Wine don't work, Bo. You need to end up going for beer or liquor or something like that. Don't go for wine. I mean, I'm just saying. Anyway, Rondeletto comes out of pit road first. We're going to talk to him right here after this commercial break. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back here at Dover.
Reach up there and pull those belts tight one more time. Drivers, start your engines!
Folks, we're back here at Dover with our Stage 1 winner, Octavio Rondoletto gets it done. Octavio, one quick question. What's it going to take to win here at Dover and lock yourself in that championship 6?
I want to win here. This is my favorite track. I think we have the pace. We were really strong in the beginning of the race, so we will try. We have 150 laps to go, so it's a long race.
We'll see what happens. We'll let him slide back to his Flaming Karma Racing. Octavio, thank you for your time and good luck, bud.
Thank you, guys.
I could literally slide him. Say, look, I'll slide him here. I'll slide him there. Haha, Octavio.
Well, I slid him back into the chat anyway, but I slid him back into his team chat right there.
That's the Glass
Obviously,
Mechanic Stage 2.
Absolutely. Yes, sir. Glass Mechanic Stage number 2. And here we go. Green flag in the air. Rondoletto now Lamperti to the outside. Ballesteros was looking down to the inside. Cofield had a run. Jumped up to the top side. Now Ballesteros and Cofield go for third. But it's the Argentinians. 1-2. Same old song and dance, Dean, right here at Glass Mechanic. Stage number 2 as Ballesteros goes to third. Cofield gets kicked up top. Here comes Weatherholt.
Yeah, I wonder if the Glass Mechanic's going to be required at the moment. So, my friend, if there's a bit of shattering, if these cars come together, that'll be glass all over the track there. I was going to call you there. Anyway, I'm just not in the zone this evening, my friend. But Lucas Lyon's up. He's up 5. He's in a little bit of a zone.
Yeah, Lucas Lyon's really starting to slide up through here. Tristan Bruce, another driver, sliding up through the field. 15th up to 5th. Back to the live chat, Bo Tiffany out there. It is Richard Childress wine. Yeah, we kind of figured that one out. I talked to our producer, Dean Hopton, about that. And he's also saying, hey, Reeves, I'll be racing tomorrow night. Well, you better watch your back bumper. We got beef. Just kidding, Dean. If you want to throw the ding in there, go for it. I don't care. But I was just messing with him. Bo, we ain't got no beef. I ain't seen you in so long. I was wondering if you quit or if you left or where you went. But watch this. We got a little stack up going on right here. Rondoletto trying to get away. Lamperti is basically pulling roadblock material on the inside lane. Ballesteros trying to find a way around Lamperti. Weatherholt had to get out of the gas. Bruce goes by. Now Cofield trying to see if he can find a hole and get around.
We'll find somewhere to go, my friend, because there's not a lot of three wides around here. You can see the Goodyear blimp up into the sky at the moment. Getting a little overcast conditions here. I'll pull that weather up there and let everybody know how it is here in Dover.
And, Dean, I will say this. You were talking about overcast skies. Obviously, everybody sees the clouds and everything else. And I don't want to put no bad luck on these drivers, but I'm telling you right now, those look like some serious rain clouds. Wouldn't it be wild? Concrete, it rained. What would happen?
Well, I mean, we were just talking about this the other day in another broadcast, actually. Not yourself and I, Jacob, but we're talking about how NASCAR did do a wet weather tire test last year. I think it was last year. Anyway, they have done a wet weather tire test, so they are, but that's for road courses, not for ovals. Anyway, but it's interesting to see.
No, we don't. Yeah.
What? You don't want no wet weather tires happening around? It's too dangerous, isn't it? Absolutely too dangerous.
Hell no. This is iRacing. Throw the slicks on there. Let them fly.
Oh, you mean in iRacing? Of course, yeah. Well, why not? Yeah, but iRacing tends to mimic what the real world is. They don't like venturing too far into the virtual world for some reason, even though it's a virtual platform. I always have beef with iRacing.
Dean, they've drove sideways before. It's called dirt track racing. I get it. Granted, it's concrete. Hey, let's spice it up a little bit. Kick them sideways. I mean, let's apparently give Octavio Rondoletto a challenge because he's literally been out here leading every single lap. Unless Ballesteros got around him a couple times. And Ballesteros gets around Lamperti. Ooh. Lamperti puts the block on Tristan Bruce. Bruce shoves him up the hill. Whoa, baby. Lamperti going up the hill. Weatherholt's going to dive down to the inside. And I'll be honest with you, Dean. Lamperti had that one coming. He literally blocked him all the way down to the bottom of the racetrack. Bruce was there, and Bruce finally just said, I've had enough. I'm there. I'm to your inside. Lamperti tried to block him all the way down, literally before they even got to the turn. I got to go with Bruce on that one. send him at that point.
Well, Bruce is the man on the move. 12 positions gained. Started in P15, currently in P3, as you can see, and the number 3 likes the number 3 place, that's for sure. I don't know, Bruce tends to always run in that P3 position. It works out for him. I'll take that any day of the week. That's the 3rd step on the podium. Of course, Bruce, he wants the 1st step on the podium. And will he do it at the end of the stage break, or, Jacob, will he be looking at doing it at the end of the race? I'm sure he would like both.
Yeah, absolutely he would. And, the only bad part about it, obviously, Tristan Bruce not in that championship hunt. Wasn't able to make it, missed out by 1 point last week at Richmond. So he's not in that championship hunt, but still, obviously, Dean, he's still able to come out here and race, have a shot, try to go out here, win, whatever, go for the money, maybe even try to spice up the playoffs, however you want to look at it. But he's got every right to be out here on this racetrack. He paid his charter fee. He's been out here the whole time. He made the playoffs, and it just didn't work out for him here for these last 4 races. So he's got every right to come out here and race with these old boys out here and see if he's got something for Rondeletto or Ballesteros. And obviously, started 15th out of 21 drivers. He's showing he's got a little something right here. He's actually getting up on the back bumper of Ballesteros. We'll talk about that battle here in a second. But, really, Dean, I don't see a whole lot of guys jumping up to the top side, which is normal. Back in the day, we've seen this track actually multiple groove out. But really on iRacing, this track is literally pinned on the bottom of the racetrack. I talked about concrete all the way around this place. You see that dark area right there? Obviously, that's asphalt. So you got asphalt for a pit road, half and half. The pit boxes is actually concrete. Pit road where they got to drive down, it is asphalt. And then obviously the apron is asphalt. Check it out right there. Obviously Mondays, DSR Electric Truck Series. Tuesdays, which is why y'all are here, the Blanchard's Towing Xfinity Series. Wednesdays, you get to see the redneck announcer in action racing in the NASRA Cup Series. Obviously, the Hot Lap podcast and the door banging download on Thursdays. And then after the NASRA 500, the Concerns of Police Survivors Truck Series will kick off Season 10. Dane, I got to tell you right now, it's a great time to be a fan of NASRA and a supporter of NASRA, and I'm one of the biggest supporters. I absolutely love this league. I support everything that goes on, and it's all entertainment. But at the same time, we see real racing and hard racing, and some of the best racing that we ever see on iRacing.
Yeah, well, there's fantastic racing leagues that we all have here on the NASRA network, and if you want to get out there and enjoy these fantastic gladiators around these fantastic arenas, then just sign up to the NASRA network. All the details are in the description below this picture that you're looking at.
Absolutely, and we're actually seeing out there in the live chat, actually, Bo, I'm sorry, I've slipped since then. He said that he had knee surgery in December. Forgot about that one right there. Obviously, slowly making a comeback, so obviously prayers to you, Bo, for a very, very speedy recovery. But like I said, I've slept since then, Bo. I barely remember what I did yesterday. But I will say this. I remember what's going on right now is Tristan Bruce starting to put a little pressure on Ballesteros, trying to look top, bottom, top, middle, 3 wide, whatever. Whatever he's got to do. He's not 3 wide, but he basically send it 3 wide if he had a choice. But he is starting to run down Ballesteros. Weatherholt back here, trying to get him some. He's still sitting in 4th lane. Purdy 5th. Cofield not too far back, literally on his back bumper. He's sitting in 6th. Darren Bruce, Lucas Lyons, Charles Joplin, and Adam Newton is your top 10 as they run halfway through stage number 2. As you see Rondeletto up here, basically just kind of doing time trial laps right here, Dean. We were talking about it. Stage 2 going to end at lap 100, and then we'll end up having a caution. I will say this, Jeffrey Johnson Jr. is a lap driver that they will be catching here in a little bit. So this will be interesting to see. But I'm telling you, Tristan Bruce is really dogging it. And I mean it in a good way, dogging the hell out of that car, trying to find a way to get to Ballesteros and at least get second.
Jonathan Caulfield making his way up as well too for the 58 machine. He's gained a couple of places already, and we know Caulfield's one of those drivers that loves to power it home towards the end of a race. And let's see if Mr. Caulfield, who's been on a bit of a nice run of late for the 58 machine.
Yeah, he's been on a pretty good run, honestly. I mean, Caulfield has done a lot of great things in the short time that he's been here with Nazareth. And, pretty cool deal, to see Caulfield, obviously. Screw it, Dean. I'll call it. I mean, pretty cool to see a redneck coming out here and, and doing as good as he is. I got to say it. Oh, wait a minute. Brucey back here. That's Darren Bruce.
That's
Darren
Bruce.
I always try to promote other guys like that right there, and we always end up having almost a kind of a wreck right there. But Darren Bruce back there in the 14, and it was all trying to get around the lap driver of Jeffrey Johnson. Looked like he kind of, on my end, it kind of looked like he slides up, gets into the fence a little bit. It kind of threw everybody off a little bit, but everybody saved it. No harm, no foul. Everything's still the same as it was a while ago, literally 1st through 10th. So nobody changing spots, at least for the time being. With about 20 to go this time by right here, Dean. 20 to go. Rondoletto is basically staring. I mean, he's literally his only competition, at least from what we're seeing right here, his competition to get the championship 6 is itself.
There's battle brewing at the moment. Adam Newton, the 4th. And Lucas Lyons. That just means he's got the full 4 accounts of iRacing there, Mr. Adam Newton. Either that or somebody already took the Adam Newton name and he's battling it out to it. Richie Joplin. Just got past Richie Joplin at the moment. The 89's dropped 3 places in P10.
Yeah, that a boy, Adam Newton. I mean, go ahead. I mean, you got to make 4 accounts to make it work. I don't know what happened to the other 3. I guess she ended up getting banned, I guess. I can't believe I said that. Anyway, yeah, I mean, hey, it's a good possibility. The other 3 might have got him banned and he had to go with the 4th one. But you see this battle right here is still brewing on right here. Folks, I mean, this track, obviously, I mean, it looks simple. I mean, I tell you what, Dean, if we can get an overshot, get it above, even though they're racing live and everything, just get us an above shot if we can. Of Dover. See, I mean, this track, obviously, it looks simple. It really does. It's 1 mile in length, concrete all the way around. There you see, I mean, everything is basically equal. Turns 1 and 2 is the same as turns 3 and 4. Front, back, straightaway, they're the same. I mean, everything so far, I mean, you would think is the same, but if you remember, the Concerns of Police Survivors Truck Series broadcast that we had here for the Friday Night Series, they are not. Neither one, I mean, none of these turns is the same, and these guys literally have a handful all the time. Turn 1 and 2, kind of tight. 3 and 4, oh my God. Like literally, you will come off of turn number 4, and you will just be pedaling that sucker. I'm watching Ballesteros right now. He is pedaling coming off of turn number 4. As you see Tristan Bruce, Colin Weatherholt going at it. But like I said, Dean, you got to pedal that bad boy coming off of turn number 4. If you do not pedal it, you will slap the fence in a hurry, and you will regret it.
Just like that. From Tristan Bruce. Almost hit the fence. Had to lift off, actually. There's almost 3-weight action. Currently at the moment with Colin Weather, Bolt, and Lampetti. And they're electing. I think Tristan Bruce backed off there for a second. Just did not want to get any possible tango. Puts him in the clutches now, Jonathan Caulfield.
We'll see what happens right here with Tristan Bruce. We got Chandler Smith out there. Obviously not the real Chandler Smith from what we learned last week at Richmond. But obviously Chandler Smith out there. Let's go T. Bruce. And Bruce out there. Obviously sitting in the 5th spot. He's got Caulfield, Darren Bruce, no relation, right behind him. I'm going to see how this ends up working out for him as Lucas Lyons back here as well. Octavio Rondoletto separated himself from Drew Ballesteros by 2 seconds, give or take. Actually, it's more than that. Hey, Joshua Suss out there in live chat, debating if I preview my 500 paint tomorrow or run my normal. I have no comment. He's gonna know where I'm gonna go with that. I have no comment for Joshua Suss. And
as long as you send me your driver picture as well, too. We need a driver portrait photo for all the drivers that are appearing in the 500. Otherwise, I'm going to put something funny up instead.
Well, I mean, you know what I was going to go with? I was going to go with something funny because I was going to have an idea of exactly what his car is going to actually look like. And some of the NASRA regulars will know where I'm going with that, and they will literally drop their phone or their iPad and they will start laughing. I'm not going to talk about it live on the broadcast, but y'all will end up figuring it out. If you're a veteran of NASRA, you will know where I'm going with that. That's an inside joke. Folks, you know, I talk to these guys a lot, so, you know, I kind of have an idea. You know, some of these guys and everything else, and I'm sure Joshua Suster will throw me probably a middle finger right here in a minute. But anyway, there you see the race details. Obviously, we've already went through stage 1. Glass Mechanics stage number 2 will end at 100, and then we'll go 100 laps and go all the way to 200 for the Millie's Restaurant and Catering, 200 for the 200 miles for this event. And obviously through green, white checkers, which is kind of weird, Dean, as we are closing in right here, under 10 laps to go here in stage number 2. But it's kind of weird to see that, you know, when we're hearing a lot of wanting to have unlimited attempts at green, white checkers here in NASRA. Kind of weird to see that 3 green, white checkers right there.
Well, we got to finish the race at some point, don't we, Jacob? So, yeah, perhaps that is the situation. As you can see, Darren Bruce all over the place this evening here for the 14 car, but still back currently in P17th. He did start back. He's been in the wars a few times, but the man does not give up. He's like Winston Churchill. We'll never give up. We'll never surrender.
Absolutely. Sitting right there behind Jonathan Cofield. Did you say 17th?
17th for Darren Bruce. He started in.
Oh.
Yeah, look. 13th, actually.
Okay, yeah. Okay, he's sitting in 7th. I was like, you had me lost. Folks, he had me lost there for a second. You would lose count how many times I have lost count with our producer, Dean Hopton. Jordan Dressing, obviously
who's that trying to get out of the
champion.
way?
Whoa, 27, Tyler Goodwin up into the fence, trying to get out of the way. He is able to get out of the way, almost gets into Lucas Lyons, almost sends him around, but everybody able to sneak by. As there you see Tristan Bruce try to hold off Darren Bruce, obviously no relation as I was talking about. A couple other people out there in the live chat, a couple of you. Obviously, Jordan Drassic. I love Dover, Xfinity, great combo. And yeah, it's putting on a fantastic show here tonight. Bo Tiffany out there.
We have a caution.
Sus, I promise not to scratch it tomorrow night. Good. As long as you end up getting Sus caution out.
I don't know who.
That's probably going to end up being the stage right there. I got a feeling that's going to be the stage, though.
That'll be the stage. I was just wondering who called the caution. Was it Tyler Goodman? He was getting really loosey-goosey. You saw him in the background there, getting lapped, trying to get out of the way for the drivers. But I think there, Jacob, but you might have a look at that one. Might have been Tyler. I expect if it's anybody, it's Tyler. Because he got loose. He did get into the fence.
Yes, it was right here with Charles Joplin right here in the 89. And I'm looking at it on my end, trying to kind of get an idea of kind of what happens right here. And Charles, I mean, oh, damn. I mean, you know, if we could back it up a little bit, kind of get a blimp cam right here. Watch what happens right here when Charles Joplin dives down to the inside. Watch what happens right here. You get Goodwin up top. Watch this 89. You're going to literally see him slide up. Now watch very close. It comes down just a smudge, and then shoots
he goes
back
into
up.
him.
Guys, yeah, but he comes down and he's trying to straighten it back up. So, I mean, Joplin's going to end up getting the EOL for that. But at the same time, from what I saw, it was just a smudge. I mean, you barely could see it with the naked eye, honestly, Dean. Just a smudge getting loose, drives down, comes down, gets into the back end, or left rear, I should say, Tyler Goodwin, and literally everybody down.
Just lost you for a second there. Bingo. There it is. Gets into him there, Jacob. That's all she wrote. We'll go back to live pitch because his drivers have gone down to pit road. At least most of the drivers gone down to pit road on that lap stage break we would call. Jacob, you have a copy? Lost Jacob there for a second. We'll be back after the short commercial breaks. Don't go anywhere.
Well, folks, there you saw some great sponsors. Butt Kicker, obviously, one of them. They will literally kick you in the butt. We'll see how this ends up working out. Another sponsor, which we'll talk about here in just a little bit, is there you see Millie's Restaurant and Catering. Proud to have them sponsoring Millie's Restaurant and Catering 200 here tonight. And who's going to win it?
Whoa!
Oh, Ballesteros, save it, baby! Save it! Save it! You can save it! He didn't save it. Tiny Horse Rod Johnson looks like he kind of got involved in that one as well. And hate to see it for the doula. Number 38, and Hood is flopping on the 38. We were sitting there. Dean, we might have messed up. We was BSing a little bit, and then all of a sudden, all hell ended up breaking loose.
Yeah. Oh, whoa! There it goes. That's it. Hey, Ryan.
There goes the hood.
Keep your hat on, mate. Wow, it's going over the place there. Let's go back and have a look. Cold tires and very warm hearts, and somebody's way dinged into the fence right there too. That's Jared. He can't even turn this sucker. I'm starting to speak like a redneck now.
Attaboy.
Jared! Hold in there, son. Let's go back and have a look.
Hey, I told you, man. I told you. Look, seriously, in all seriousness, and this ain't a part of what, any part of the entertainment, Dean. I told you, you hang around me long enough, you will talk like a redneck. Promise you. That's exactly what's going to happen. But slide up just a little bit. Go to Ballesteros in the 54. I'm thinking there was some contact. I mean, there had to be some contact the way that 54 got turned sideways. He had to get turned by somebody. Now, who he got turned by, I'm not 100% exactly
Tristan.
who. It wasn't Tiny Horse.
It's Tristan.
But was it Tristan Bruce?
Yeah.
Yes, it was. It was the 3 of Tristan Bruce. He will end up getting into the left rear of Ballesteros. And there was net code. I'll give him that. There was a little bit of net code.
Bang, Tiny Horse gets into him. Turns to
But,
Tiny Horse.
obviously Tristan
Bang, bang.
does kind of slide up a little bit. Gerald Poole, Tyler Goodwin, they get involved. There you see Tiny Horse was actually didn't have a whole lot of contact. Just kind of knocked the hood up, and then when he took off, damn hood flies off. So, I mean, there ain't nothing you can do about that. There you see the contact. Ballesteros comes down the hill. Tiny Horse tried to miss it. I mean, it's not that bad.
Yeah.
I mean, he really didn't get hit or nothing right here. But then once he spins around, he loses the hood. So I would say Tiny Horse is not going to be in that bad a shape. Ballesteros, though, who was up front and had a shot to try to win this bad boy, he is done. He has a meatball flag. He is currently going one lap down. It's unfortunate to see that for Ballesteros. Net code or not, you hate to see that.
You're not allowed to use the N-word with iRacing, my friend. They get very, very upset when you say that.
Well, they need to fix their stuff. But I don't know what to say. What am I supposed to say?
You're talking about 10 billion packets of information being sent from a steering wheel from somebody's lounge room into a server across the country, across the planet actually, back around there, all in a millisecond to try to judge where a driver's going to be and where they're going to be and when they're contacting each other side by side with latency. That's pretty impressive, I'd say, for what they do.
Yeah, but
it'll get better.
Well, yeah, but Dean, I mean, this is the most popular sim racing. I mean, they ought to be able to
You roll back 5 to 6 years, and it was a lot worse than what it was. So it's getting better.
Yeah, actually, I remember those years. Anyway, I started about 2020, so that actually makes sense. Green flag in the air, Rondeletto. Lamperti up front. Tristan Bruce did not get that EOL, so I'm assuming they're talking about that it was fun time. I guess that's what we'll call it, which was fun time, and that's exactly why that happened. But check this out. Here comes Lucas Lyons in this 18. Watch out for this 18. Jumps around the outside and literally power move on Tristan Bruce. Lamperti, Lyons to second, behind Rondeletto. Lamperti back to third, Bruce fourth, the other Bruce fifth, literally Bruce and Bruce. Now Lamperti's sliding back. Tristan Bruce goes around it. Garen Bruce trying to find a way around him. Cofield as well. Lamperti slipping back, but Dean, we saw this obviously in stage 1, stage 2. Lamperti falls back. Everybody else burns their tires up. Lamperti comes back through the field.
Yeah, well, and so does Lucas Lyons, and so does Tristan Bruce as well, too. They're not burning their tyres up. They're applying the pressure at the moment. Octavia's smooth an operator, but for how long? Look at the real spin. The loosey-goosey out of the 18. Lucas has absolutely got it planted. Don't crack that egg. Look out for Tristan Bruce, too. He's thinking 3 wide. Can I try it? Maybe. Wouldn't do it, mate. Don't risk it for the biscuits this early. Look at this. Door banging. And that's not your download.
No, it obviously is not. And one thing about these cars, Dan, I talked about cracking egg and talking about not spinning it out. And actually, somebody might have spun it out back there. We got a caution, Austin Evie in the 98. That was a lucky click. Ended up getting turned around by, Charles Joplin. 89 ends up getting into the back of Austin Evie. And was their net code? Oh, wow. Well, fun time. I'm sorry, Dean. Fun time. Look, it's a habit. I'm getting used to it. But there was a lot of fun time right here. You'll see it right here. I mean, neither one of them touched it. I mean, that's bad right there.
It's the bump. You can see it. If you actually have a look, it gets bumpy right there. And you might have a little bit too much steering angle on. And the car's just lifted. Bump there. See? Right on the bump.
No. No, no. No. No.
I know what I'm talking about. I'm an old school racer. I've been doing this for years. No, I have no idea actually. I'm just that's my two bob on that situation.
Well, I tell you what, for some of you rednecks out there, I'm gonna call you know what, because that's exactly what I'm thinking right here. No,
are you saying I'm full of?
Yeah.
Is that what you're saying? Well then, my friend,
absolutely.
We got beef.
Yeah, you can beef it off all you want. I don't care. I mean, I honestly, that was. We're gonna have to come up. We're gonna come up with a name for that one way or another. I tell you what, we're gonna figure out a name for that while you're here for some of our sponsors. After you see the three-man Brady bunch,
the three amigos,
or three amigos. Yeah. I tell you what, let's go with that. Got the three amigos right there, McCody, Rondeletto, and Tidy Horse, Ryan Johnson. I'll tell you what, Dean, we haven't played a quick ad, so let's go ahead and play a quick ad from one of our great sponsors. We're going to figure out what we're going to call Fun Time after this commercial break.
Are you ready?
For Murph's Magical Creations. Home to custom laser engraving and gifts. This veteran-owned and operated company engraves for all occasions. If you want one of Murph's magical creations, call the number on your screen or commission through either Instagram or via email. Murph's Magical Creations, made with love for you.
We're back
we're
here.
back.
Go ahead,
I thought you were going to introduce me and then I was going to take over, but I guess I'm going to do it myself. We're back. I'm late. We're green.
Short and sweet there, Wesley. Over to you. I'm going to rest my voice for a bit.
Thank you, Jacob, for covering for me as well as Dean. Had a basketball radio broadcast oh, God, I'm tongue-tied. Damn it. Obligation. And so I'm here with you, man. And how's the first 100 lap spin at Dover? Playoffs continue,
fantastic.
Jacob.
It's been fantastic, Wesley. Have you a cold one? I think you earned it at this point.
No drinking while I'm working. Can't do it.
Hey, I am. But anyway, that's beside the point. But we've seen some awesome stuff right here. Rondoletto had a shot. Obviously, Rondoletto, stage 1, stage 2 winner. He's been up front. Now he's kind of in a hole right here, Wes. Lions, Tristan Bruce, they have basically asserted themselves up here to the front. And now Rondoletto is literally in a bad spot. He's literally been in not this spot one bit. So he's got to figure out a way to get back up there. We'll see how this ends up working out for him right here at the start of stage number 3.
And they work all 4. It's Lions in the lead, Bruce second, Rondoletto third. Everyone's single file now here at Dover, but one thing I'm noticing since I'm checking my stats, Jacob, this has been an eventful race with a lot of cautions in the first 100 laps.
Yeah, I mean, obviously it really has. I mean, there's been a lot of cautions here at the, obviously, I think we had about 3 in the first 30 laps, honestly, Wes, and that's, that's normal, I guess. I talked about how hard this track is and how hard it is to get around here and how hard it is to get off of these corners. But at the same time, this series right here, I talked about it a couple of weeks ago, being the more cleaner series. And really, it has put on a very clean product here tonight. I just think that it's just the monster, the monster mile, Miles the Monster is just literally just putting that much of a whooping on the drivers. Rondoletto's trying to put a whooping on the field, but Miles is obviously going to be the winner when it's all said and done.
Miles the Monster, no doubt, chomping at them here tonight at Dover. And by the way, just want to emphasize on this, this is the opening round of the semifinals here tonight at Dover. If one of the playoff drivers of the 12 win, you will see them advance to the championship final. Lucas Lyons is in the lead. If he wins, Bruce in second, Rondoletto is third. If those guys win, you're going to see them go to the championship final race.
Absolutely, and one of those drivers that you saw right there, you were talking about Bruce, one of them being Darren Bruce.
That's right.
And not Tristan Bruce, because Tristan Bruce, remember, I talked about it earlier, missed out by 1 point last week. And I'm going to tell you right now, you miss out by 1 point, I got to be honest with you, Wesley, that sucks. It really does. You miss out by 1 point to be able to have a shot to try to go to the Elite 10 and then have a shot to go to the Championship 6. It's rough. But I will say this. He's come out swinging here tonight. And mind you, front two guys, both of them start outside the top 10. Lucas Lyons, Tristan Bruce, and your pole sitter at stage 1 and stage 2, presented by the Glass Mechanic winner, Rondoletto. He's sitting in third.
Coming off of last week's race at Richmond. Rondoletto in the points lead, followed by Weatherholt and Johnson. And right now, Lyons in the lead. There he is, right there. Lucas Lyons. He's started this race in the number 12 spot. He leads. He won the race. Which race did he win? The opening race for the DSR Electric Truck Series. We saw how good he was at that one. And obviously, you even said it. Keep an eye on Lucas Lyons because he is not only going to be a threat for the Monday Series, but even a threat now in NASRA for a championship. And by the way, we apologize for not airing last night's race. We had some technical difficulties. Things have been recorded. We will air the race in its entirety Thursday night at 9 p.m. Eastern time. All right, Jacob? That's our plan for the race at Atlanta.
Yeah, I believe that's what we agreed on, and I'm all for it.
Yeah,
everything should be good and everything else. We're actually hearing from our producer. I believe he said that he can do it, so that'll be a good time and everything else. I have a little bit of Southern Hibachi on the griddle earlier on in the day. And then we'll get you lined up. Yeah, absolutely. Get a little rice, a little chicken, a little shrimp, a little steak. Get it all right.
Kangaroo in the
I
barbie?
might have to end up shutting up. But anyway,
A bit of roll in the
we're not
barbie? Come
throwing no, Dean, we're not putting no kangaroo on my
You want Skip on the barbie, mate.
No.
Skip tastes nice. You're going to eat me, he says.
No kangaroo on my griddle. I'm not doing it.
The technical difficulties was Dean Hopton ate a Vegemite sandwich last night and couldn't recover himself.
That's because I come from the land down under.
Exactly. Oh, baby. Hey, big shout out. Hello, Robert Hill, our friend up in Canada. The Legends, Reeves and Outland. Always good to hear you fellas. Thank you, Robert. Hope you're doing well. I think I saw an announcement where he's going to be announcing at a new racetrack up in Canada this year. Mm-hmm. And right now, Lyons, Bruce, Rondeletto, Cofield, Weatherholt, they're the top 5. 75 laps to go. Jacob Reeves, I'm Wesley Outland. Sorry I'm late. Had a real radio broadcast for basketball. Thanks for covering for me. And right now we rock and roll into the final 75 laps of stage number 3. And Lyons looking to be a man. Jacob, I don't know if this has ever happened before in the history of NASRA. A number 12 seed. A number 12 seeded driver punching his ticket to the championship 6.
Well, Dean, Wesley, I've been talking to Dean for the past 110 miles, but anyway,
it's all good, brother.
But you talk about it. We think about college football and pro football and all that. And this is why they play the game. You can put it on a piece of paper. This is who we're thinking is going to end up winning this thing, and then they go out there and race. Well, you got the 12 seed right there, Lucas Lyons. He just comes out here. Bam! He's up here winning. Obviously, still got a long way to go. 70 laps left in this race. But obviously in prime position to have a shot to try to lock himself in and get himself to the championship 6 at Homestead, which is what Lucas Lyons wants to do. So that's why they always say, there's those two sayings. Wesley, I hear it all the time. That's why they play the game. And also, it's not over till the fat lady sings. So both of those sayings could be said here on this last 70 laps.
Lyons in the lead. Bruce, Rondeletto, Cofield, Weatherholt. Let's go side by side to thank some sponsors. This has been a pretty lengthy green flag run since lap 100. We'll acknowledge them, but we'll stay right here with you. The road to the NASRA 500 is now down to single digits. Remember, it begins on Monday. Monday night, the first of 4 nights of the qualifying races. Big thanks to Premier Racing Setups. As right now we move our way across the start-finish line. Lyons in the lead still. Bruce in second. Followed by a Cofield. All in that mix. So all these drivers patiently work their way. Lyons, Rondeletto, Bruce, Cofield, Weatherholt now clinching the top 5 as well.
Absolutely, and there you saw right there a while ago, obviously, Premier Racing Setups. You need one, you know where to go. PremierRacingSetups.com. 2 codes to enter. Obviously, NASRA and also Jake57, brand new code. Get you 15% off your tire order. Also, 15% gets kicked back to those respective brands. And if you want the setups to the Redneck Announcer races, go check them out. PremierRacingSetups.com. Make sure you put a G at the end of racing. If you end up literally trying to put RACIN, it ain't going to pop up. Make sure it's racing, but obviously the Southern lingo, there's no way that I can literally say it. But here we go, a little battle going on right here. Lamperti was up there at the front, Wes. He dropped back. Now he's starting to work his way back up to the front. I've been watching him over the past 100 laps. He drops back at the start, and then after that, he starts picking them off one by one.
Sure was, man. We're watching that happen again as racing intense going on in the 3 and 4. Latoro Lamperti as they work again off the corner. 60, about under 75 laps to go, or under 70 laps to go. As it is still Octavio Rondoletto now. He leads back in the lead. The 48, Lyons and Bruce second. Top 3 with Cofield and Weatherholt as they work the back straightaway going back into turn number 3.
Yeah, and I barely caught a glimpse of it right there. I mean, Lyons was up front. He had basically a stranglehold on this baby, and then Rondoletto just went up there and just straight up took it. Lyons had to get out of the gas. I was talking about turn 4. Wes, we talked about that. Turn 4. When we was doing the Concerns of Police Survivors Truck Series race here, and how tight you can get over in turn number 4. Well, watch this pass right here, and watch Rondoletto dives down to the inside. Now watch what happens with Lyons right here. You see him kind of drift up. He's going to be fine. He's fine. He's fine. He's fine. He's fine. He's not fine. He got tight. He almost slapped the fence. He had to get out of the gas. If he didn't get out of the gas, he was going to be in trouble. He's in the fence now. Oh, baby, he got in the fence off turn number 2. Lyons burnt him up. Boy, baby, he burnt them bad boys up.
Unbelievable. Lucas Lyons with a problem. He is hoping for a caution flag. Hasn't got one yet. Octavio Rondoletto in the lead. Tristan Bruce, Colin Weatherholt, top 3. And now we're going to see what happens to Lyons as he has fallen all the way back to 8th, continuing to slip through the top 10. As now Cofield going after Bruce for 5th and 1.
Well, I'll say this. I mean, Lucas Lyons might be praying for a caution. I think he's praying just to go ahead and just end this sucker, because I think he knows that he has screwed up majorly and burnt them tires up. You were talking about Cofield right here. Obviously, Jonathan Cofield been very, very quiet here this evening. Started 10th. He's up in 6th, right behind Darren Bruce, who's really been on a charge, I guess you could say. Darren Bruce starting 13th. He ends up being in the 5th spot. The biggest mover out of everybody really is Tristan Bruce, up 13 spots. Started 15th. He's up to 2nd. So a lot of big movers, a lot of big losers, I guess you could say. Ballesteros being the biggest loser who got caught up in that whole deal with the net code incident with him and Tristan Bruce earlier on. So, we got some big winners, got some big losers right now, but the one man that's been up front this whole time has been Octavio Rondoletto.
Rondoletto looking to punch his ticket in to the championship 6. And you got to remember, Dean, when he, Dean was on the call with us, Jacob, before you had showed up. But if you remember, Jacob, when Rondoletto unveiled with Latoro Lamperti when the season started, they literally missed the first round. They got caught up at round 2. And then they just did phenomenal. I mean, absolutely, what a great run. Latoro Lamperti just won his first race last week, if you remember. But they were consistent. And Rondoletto has now got 5 wins on this series. He's looking for win number 6. The win for Lamperti put him in the championship semifinal round here, Dean. Jacob.
Yeah, I mean, you're right. I mean, and it's kind of hard for Lamperti to win, when Rondoletto ends up winning about all of them, or Weatherholt, or whichever one. So, I mean, but obviously, you can't really sit there and look at Rondoletto and say, hey, move over and let him win. Well, as racer's heart, you're going to sit there and say, no, I want to win. I want to try to do, the best that I possibly can, for me and my sponsors and all that and everything else. So Lamperti earned that win that he got at a controversial, however you want to look at it. I've talked about it before, Richmond. But we'll see how this ends up working out. How about this right here? This is a big story right here. It's something that's going to be, kind of on the back burner of everything. Is Dean Doucette. He got caught up. He was the very first caution of this race, Wes. Very first caution of this race. He has been at the back. Literally, he has busted his tail and fought like hell to get up here and at least salvage something out of this bad boy. He has drove himself back inside the top 10 and literally looks at the battle sitting in front of him for a top 5 spot. He wrecked right there. Literally, he was the very first caution on lap 3. And now Dean Doucette, he's got a shot to get him a top 5. Unbelievable.
And this long green flag stretch since lap 100 continues at the end of stage 2 into stage 3. And it has been a green flag run. And Dover's one of those types of racetracks, right, Jacob? I mean, it could be a boring race, and then it can be absolutely exciting. And right now, we have been treated with cautions in the first 2 stages, now that I'm going back and getting caught up. And then in this 3rd stage, we've been green since the start of it in the Millie's Restaurant 200. Hey, by the way, the road to the NASRA 500 is down to single digits. It begins next Monday night, February the 3rd through the 8th. We hope you join us. All of our crew, Dean Doucette, myself, and Jacob, are on the broadcast call. We're not showing you everything, expected big numbers in the history of NASRA since 2020. This is the biggest event. It's not a race. It's not a race, Jacob Reeves. It is the biggest event we've ever put on in iRacing. We're looking forward to it this upcoming Monday. The road to the NASRA 500 begins Monday night.
Yes, sir, and I'm absolutely excited for that boy, or for that bad boy, ready to get it rock and roll and see what's going to happen. Obviously, Wes, you talked about it. You don't want to spoil the surprise. A lot of big names is going to be in that bad boy, but obviously,
I think the last time I was told, Jacob, we're up to 160 drivers.
That's more than what I thought. I didn't think it was going to be that bad. I said 150 a while ago. But you're here at 160. I wouldn't be surprised we'll have 200 before it's all said and done. But remember, 43 get the opportunity to race in the Great American Sim Race, which is the NASRA 500. So it should be interesting to see who's going to see who's going to get in. Obviously, a bunch of big names is going to be getting in it. And, Wes, before you brought up the NASRA 500, you were talking about Dover. It's a place that you can hate, and it's a place that, you can really love. And, if I may, I want to get real here for a second, if I can. But, this actually makes me think about my wife right now. It can make you happy. It can make you sad.
Whoa.
And it can make you want to straight up break the damn TV. Literally. That's exactly what Dover can do for you. As you see Dean Doucette, who was on that charge trying to drive back through the field, he's making his final pit stop.
And we've literally seen times where the races go clean and green, flag to flag, caution free here at Dover. There's been times where we've seen wreck fests. We've seen strategy here tonight, no doubt, with under 50 laps to go. Rondoletto in the lead. People are making green flag pit stops, and obviously that changes the scenario of things as well, because you cannot make any mistakes, especially for those playoff drivers, Jacob, when you come down pit lane here with under 40 to go coming up on it.
Yeah, a lot of folks will remember, about 2 weeks ago when we was at Darlington, and I was talking about how hard that pit road is. Well, you ain't seen Dover yet. If you just thought Darlington was bad, oh, yeah, you ain't seen nothing yet. Watch this right here. You see them yellow barrels right there? Just that little glimpse right there. That's your entrance to pit road. Now, Cofield right here coming off of turn 3 and 4, heading down the front straightaway. He's going over 150, 160 miles an hour. He is moving, as we're actually seeing out there. Somebody won't know where Conzella is. you'll end up seeing it eventually right here going into turn number 3. You see it barely right there on the end. It's a little orange box right there. You want to make sure you're below that orange box. If you don't, you get busted. But, Wes, every time I come to Dover, there's 2 races that comes to mind every single time we come to Dover. One is the race that Dale Earnhardt Jr. won right after the September 11th attacks. I remember that race, and, awesome to see that race. And it's very historic. The other race, talking about pit road, Matt Kenseth, when he was coming off of turn number 4 and hit the sand barrels coming off turn 4 trying to get into the pits, and just how hard it is to get into the pits here. I talked about Darlington being one of the hardest pit roads. We'll see how this ends up working out. It's Lamperti diving down pit road, but I'm telling you, this is one of the hardest ones.
Rondeletto in the lead, Weatherholt second as we see Cofield and Larch battle. Now we see Lataro Lamperti, the Butcher, winner last week, on pit road now. Green flag pit stops are happening with under 40 laps to go. Hey, Jacob, can we mention, Bruce and Cofield dropping on to pit lane. Can we mention Motorsports Mania this weekend? I think, Saturday and Sunday, Jacob, we're getting ready to call some NASCAR as well. The Bowman Gray Cookout Clash at the stadium. We're going to be doing that on the Motorsports Mania for, Saturday qualifying and the heat races, and then Sunday night, the 200-lap race.
Yeah, there's no telling how that bad boy is going to pop out. I mean, absolutely no telling. So hopefully everybody be able to tune in and hear us. Obviously, watch it on TV, but mute it. Listen to, the great Wesley Outland and the redneck announcer, Jake Reeves. A little bit, obviously we're hearing Dean back in the background. Don't listen to the Aussie, but we'll get him in. We'll get him eventually. We'll get him in. Oh, wrong Aussie. Well, Dean, Cofield spins coming off of pit road. Just saw it right there coming off of pit road. Jonathan Cofield jammed it in the gear, tried to go to second, but no caution, Wes, because it was not on the racetrack. It was on the apron. It wasn't on the racing surface. That is going to hurt Jonathan Cofield right there for the Sports Poppers Instant Replay.
And here it is, replay for number 58, Cofield coming off pit road. Watch him. Cold tires, I believe, is the verdict and the culprit of this. Yes, coming off pit road. Watch him. Spun the tires right there. Did you see it, Jacob? And there he goes. He spun the tires, cold tires, and around went to 58. Leader on pit road, Rondeletto in for the money stop with 35 remaining next time around.
And Wes, I was talking about how hard it is to get on this pit road. It's actually a pain in the tail to actually get off of this pit road. If we can, watch Rondeletto obviously go down pit road right there. Obviously keep it above that white line. Don't go below that while you're going down through there. NASRA officials will penalize you. But if we can, Dean, I want us to see exactly what happens as we hear the lug nuts in the background. Watch Rondeletto coming off of pit road right here and see how tough it is, because there's a tough spot right here. Right on board with him if we can. Try to get a hood cam and watch what happens with Rondeletto. That's fine right there. Watch what happens. See, look how fast he's jerking that wheel around, and watch what happens off two. Just how tight it is. That big tight spot right there where that blue cone is and the racing surface and that wall starting to come out at you. I'm telling you, it'll scare you to death coming off pit road here.
By the way, Speed Weeks is coming up at Daytona, and I would encourage everybody, if you are in the Daytona area for Speed Weeks and the 69th running of the Daytona 500 on February the 16th, the trucks, the Xfinity as well on Thursday, Friday, ARCA, all of that good stuff, the duels, you name it. Check out Millie's Restaurant. It's right near Daytona International Speedway. And Jacob Reeves, they have some awesome food, dude. Awesome food. We're glad to have a real restaurant as a partner with NASRA. Millie's Restaurant and Catering. Appreciate your business. And, of course, check them out down in Daytona. They got other locations, but it started down in Florida.
Yes, sir. Next time I am able to take another trip down to Daytona International Speedway, which I will plan that here in the next 2 to 3 years.
We'll be
I will
calling
make
the 500 for Motor Mania Network, remember? On the 16th. Yeah, man.
Yes, and hopefully I'll be able to make a trip to Millie's Restaurant and Catering. I would like to go check that bad boy out. I mean, I was at the Daytona night race last season or last year, but I just never got a shot to be able to go down there. As here we go, teammates, Argentinians, Lamperti, Rondoletto, and Lamperti basically just pulled out of the way and just let Rondoletto go right there. I think it was just Rondoletto just being that damn fast right there, Wes. He just didn't want to hold him up.
Yeah, I think you're exactly right. Just said, hey, man, let me get out of your way. I don't want to hold you up. Larch is the leader, by the way. Larch and that Farmers number 11 up in front for the Swamp Fox. Johnson second, Gagliano. By the way, look at that. If it's correct, Jacob, 2 cars on the lead lap. That's it. Everybody else is a lap down or more, unless time and score needs to update.
Yeah, I mean, and this is actually kind of normal to see these kind of guys try to do this. Obviously, Michael Large, Jeffrey Johnson Jr., anybody really try to do this. What these guys are doing, Wes, is they're trying to go as long as they possibly can before they have to make a pit stop. Go as long as they can and try to trap these guys one lap down. They're basically playing for a caution. Honestly, that's what Large and Jeffrey Johnson Jr. are trying to do, is get a caution. They get a caution, they're going to trap everybody a lap down, and then if a caution comes out, they're the only 2 that's going to be able to be up on the front, and they will start on the front row for the restart. Everybody else is going to have to take the waiver down or go down and make pit stops. Now, if they drag it out long enough, then everybody may think about going in and getting 4 fresh tires, and then that'll literally take this race and flip it over on its lid.
There you go. 2 cars on the lead lap. That's it. Michael Larch in the lead. Johnson in second. That's Jeffrey Johnson in the 33. And everyone else a lap down or more. 25 laps remaining. We have been green all the way since the start of stage number 3. Jacob Reeves, I'm Wesley Outland. Every week, join us. Remember, Monday's race at Atlanta will air this Thursday. Tonight, Blanchard's Towing Playoffs, Xfinity, the Cup Series. The road to the playoffs for them rolls on. Wednesday night, Thursday night, the Hot Lap podcast is usually on Thursday with Brady, Cody, and Tyler. Friday, after the NASRA 500, Season 10, where it all started with the concerns of Police Survivors Truck Series, the big races coming up. The NASRA 500 week starts Monday. Remember, by the way, because of the NASRA 500 Speed Week, next Monday through Saturday, February 3rd to the 8th, there will be no league racing. No league racing. However, Jacob, we still working. Got that big NASRA 500, the Great American Sim Race. And remember, somebody, when they take the checkered flag, is going to win $2,000. $2,000 to the winner guaranteed.
Yeah, that's going to pay off a lot of bills, or be able to pay whatever you want to buy, probably even a new sim rig, a new butt kicker, or possibly a season pass, for obviously premier racing setups. I mean, a lot of things can happen for $2,000. So somebody's literally going to get rich here with NASRA, and it's awesome to see it. And absolutely, I mean, honestly, Wes, I mean, I've literally cleared my schedule. I cannot wait for the NASRA 500 and everything that leads up to it. It's going to be the best, man. I mean, I'm telling you, literally 6 days, for next week. I mean, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, all the way to Saturday with the duels that morning, the big race that afternoon at 3 p.m., I'm understanding.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
That's going to be an awesome, awesome event. And there's no telling. Obviously, no fast repairs, so it's going to make it realistic. So if you wreck out on lap 1, I don't know what to tell you. I guess you just park it and you watch the other 199. Yeah.
Damaged vehicle policy. Take some time off. Hey, by the way, we're under 20 laps to go. Big thanks to Premier Racing Setups. 20 to go for NASRA. Mention NASRA in your checkout and get, of course, 15% goes back in your discount and 15% goes back to NASRA as well. That's right. Premier Racing Setups. everything from dirt, pavement, short track, NASCAR, from some of the top setup builders around one-on-one coaching, iRacing setup requests, passes, and more. Check them out. And right now, pit stops as Larch has now gave up the lead. He's on pit road. Octavio Rondoletto now back as the leader. And when that happened, everybody got back on the lead lap. At least the top 15 did.
Absolutely, they did. And Lamperti is actually going to go back to the second spot after they shoot around Larch, who's just now on pit road. So Lamperti trying to go for 2 in a row, and Rondoletto trying to go for 3 out of 4 right here. And how about the man sitting in third, Tristan Bruce? He's under fire. Big fire right now. Weatherholt diving down to the inside, trying to get around Tristan Bruce. He takes it with ease. Bruce is going to go back to 4th. Weatherholt will go back to 3rd. And this is going to get good as Lucas Lyons is back here. He's going to go to 5th. Everybody's shooting around Michael Larch, who's on pit road. They have fresh tires, but I don't see, honestly, I don't know how it's going to work out for Larch. But he's got those fresh tires to try to be able to battle back through the field. But this is going to get interesting. Is now Darren Bruce trying to shoot down to the inside of Lucas Lyons?
Yeah, to answer your question, Joshua Suss, I think it was his rookie or sophomore year driving for Joe Gibbs Racing when he drove the number 20 Home Depot car. He did barrel roll. He hit the wall and barrel rolled and flipped all the way down to the bottom of the apron behind the pedestrian bridge in 3. Kind of like that right there. And, that was Joey Logano. Now a 3-time NASCAR Cup Series champion, defending champion, and he is one of the 39 drivers on the entry list for Motorsports Mania Network's coverage of Saturday and Sunday's Cookout Clash at Logan Gray Stadium. As we got 15 laps to go, ringing the bell. Rondoletto, Lamperti, they are teammates. They're going for it. They're one going to the championship 6 if they win. Weatherholt, though, has caught speed, Dean. I'll tell you what, Jacob, the sights and sounds getting exciting here. And keep an eye on what Jacob, we call Thunderbolt. He has moved up now to 4th. He started 4th. He's up to 3rd. He is moving through the field and looking on the front row.
Absolutely,
this is
Thunderbolt. Yeah, absolutely, Thunderbolt and Weatherholt, however you want to look at it. He is putting down some speed right now, as you saw. Miles the Munster right there, obviously outside of the racetrack. You can see it at your real Dover International Speedway. And Thunderbolt, Weatherholt, starting to put a little bit of pressure on Weatherholt. We're going to slide back just a little bit. See Adam Newton back here putting a little bit of pressure on Jonathan Cofield. This is the battle for 6th. Newton's trying to reel him in. You got Lucas Lyons not too far back. And Adam Newton putting a lot of pressure right here on Cofield. Newton not necessarily in the playoffs, but Cofield is. And, Wes, we were talking about this as well as we see Weatherholt diving down to the inside for 2nd right here with Lamperti. Weatherholt trying to make it stick. Obviously, they had that little bit of beef at Darlington. We'll see how that ends up playing out right here in the round of the Elite 12. We'll see how it works out. Weatherholt looks like he's clear. No, he's not. Weatherholt dives to the outside, or Lamperti, I should say. And here comes Weatherholt dive down the inside, and here comes fresh tires with Michael Lawrence on the inside.
Rondoletto in the lead. Weatherholt with now 3 seconds back. Gets around Lamperti. He's on a mission to run down Rondoletto. 10 laps to go as well. The long green flag run of the race here tonight at Dover. The opening lid lifter for the semifinals could see Rondoletto not only get the number 6 win of the season, but punch his ticket in to the championship 6 finale. He leads the points. He won 3 out of 4. If he pulls this off, and he is now hit it in stealth mode, Jacob Reeves. Weatherholt now losing ground on Rondoletto. He's up to 0.3 of a second on him.
Yeah, and Rondoletto actually got a 10th on Weatherholt that time around. We'll see kind of what happens right here. Rondoletto hits a 24.5 that last time.
Wow.
Weatherholt 24.5 as well, but just by a couple of hundredths
7
of a
tenths quicker.
second.
Yep.
Yeah, give or take right there. So Rondoletto is actually pulling away. You see it right there on the left side of your screen with the interval. As we're sliding back, you see Rondoletto right here. Getting a little bit of pressure right here from Michael Lawrence, who actually ran very long. He's going to unlap himself and get himself back on the lead lap. So should a caution or something crazy, we've seen it happen, Wes, come out right here. Lawrence is going to be in prime position. He will be back on the lead lap, and that will put 13 drivers, unlucky number 13, on the lead lap to duke it out if a caution was to come out right here. But, folks, make sure you like and subscribe to the NASRA 360 Racing Network. If you love what you're doing, ring that bell. Get the notifications lined up. Make sure you stay up with everything with the NASRA 360
Jacob, we got to get some kind of a Valentine's Day thing going. We got to get Cupid or shooting arrows at somebody. Little candy, throw candy at people or something, right? Because it's Valentine's Day, our next big holiday coming up. 5 to go as well. Open hand, Miles the Munster showing him 5 miles remaining. Rondeletto dominating against Miles the Munster right now, and all adversaries behind him. Weatherholt, Lamperti, Bruce and Bruce. They're not related. They're 4 and 5. That's how it is with 4 to go. Rondeletto and Weatherholt. Now, Weatherholt losing ground. 3.5 seconds to Rondeletto. And Rondeletto's now getting caught up with lap traffic. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, it really does not matter. At this point, Rondeletto is just coasting and just hoping for no caution. Obviously, he's hitting his 24.5s like he was doing. Weatherholt is actually falling back big time, hitting 24.7s at this point. So 0.2 of a second. Rondeletto is running to Weatherholt. And, that's going to be interesting to see right here. But obviously chaos can happen right here. But it just looks like everybody's kind of spread out right here. As Weatherholt coming around with 2 laps to go. The popsicle sticks up in the air for Rondeletto. 2 to go here at Dover.
2 to go. Rondeletto, Weatherholt, Lamperti, Bruce sounds like a law firm as they come to the line, to the back straightaway. This time by, looking for that Darren's nail gun repair. 1 to go here at Dover. Rondeletto and the field, phenomenal job. 100 laps, caution free. White flag in the air. He could coast from here. Rondeletto looking for 3 out of 4 playoff wins and punching his ticket. Jacob Reeves to the championship 6. He's on the back straightaway for the final time.
He's on the backstretch for the final time. Stage 1, stage 2. They were cautioned, failed West, but coming off of turn number 4, Octavio Rondeletto got the fist in the air, baby. He gets it done. Rondeletto with a smile and a fist in the air. Rondeletto gets it done. Octavio Rondeletto going to the championship 6. Weatherholt gets second. Lautaro Lamperti will end up finishing third. Tristan Bruce, Darren Bruce, 4th and 5th. But the night belongs to the Argentinian. Octavio Rondeletto gets it done at Dover. He's racing for a championship at Homestead.
It is win number 6 of the season for Rondeletto. It is also his 11th top 5, 11th top 10 in 12 starts. You want to talk about being a champion, getting to do it? Excuse me. Sorry about that. No, I'm sorry. I had to catch my breath there for a second. I was going to say something. His goal is to make it to the eNASCAR Coca-Cola iRacing Series, the Road to Pro, and then to run the eNASCAR Championship League. Here's the deal. To make that happen, you've got to win. You've got to be consistent. And on NASRA's circuit, Jacob Reeves, he has done just that. What a job for Octavio Rondeletto. They call him the showman tonight at Dover. You see why.
Yeah, he literally put on a show, obviously. Stage 1 and obviously stage 2, presented by the Glass Mechanic, won both of those stages, and basically a clean sweep stretch at the start-finish line. Octavio Rondeletto gets the win.
Here's the results of tonight's Millie's Restaurant and Catering 200 at Dover Motor Speedway. Octavio Rondeletto wins. He is in the championship 6 finale. Also, ironically, his 6th win of the season. Colin Weatherholt will finish 2nd. Lautaro Lamperti will finish 3rd. Tristan Bruce, Darren Bruce, top 5. Adam Newton, Jonathan Cofield, Greg McConey, Richie Joplin, Lucas Lyons, the top 10.
And then you got 11th is Michael Larch. Obviously, Austin Eby had a couple of struggles here tonight, but still salvages a 12th place finish. Last driver to finish on the lead lap. Rest of them one lap down or more. Bernard Pearson, Jeffrey Johnson Jr., Dean Doucette, what could have been for the number 5 entry out of Canada. Started third. He will finish 15th here this evening. Dean Gagliano, Tiny Horse, Ryan Johnson, 3 laps down. That is very, very wild to see. That old Tiny Horse finishing 17th. Tyler Goodwin, Gerald Poole, Drew Ballesteros. What could have been for him up there at the front was going for it and had a shot to win. Unfortunately, he will finish 20th. And Trevor C. Williams. We're down at the 21 drivers here this evening. TJ Moore, the race director.
Time of race, 1 hour, 41 minutes, and 32 seconds when the checkered flag fell on a 2.5-hour time limit. When it is said and done, Octavio Rondeletto beats out Colin Weatherholt by 4.27 seconds at the line. As we mentioned, he led 144 of the 200 laps here tonight at Dover Motor Speedway. And he is in the Championship 6. No matter what goes on the next 2 weeks, he will be battling for the title at Homestead. We're taking a break. When we come back, we've got the top 3 drivers. Rondeletto will get his thoughts, as well as Weatherholt, Lamperti. They're coming up next. Stay with us.
Reach up there and pull those belts tight one more time. Drivers, start your engines!
Starbase 1552 Comics. We sell everything a collector would want. Comics, Funkos, action figures, and so many more. A real American comic book shop. We are online only. Starbase 1552 Comics. Find us on eBay Auctions.
Welcome back to coverage of the playoffs for the NASCAR Blanchard's Towing and Recovery Xfinity Series Season 3. Wesley Outland, Jacob Reeves, thank you for covering for me. Also, Dean Hopton, and he's also on production. Let's go to victory lane. 6th win of the year. 6th driver of 6 drivers to race for a championship. You know it's one of them. Octavio Rondeletto, congratulations, man. Clenching your fist? This is exactly what you wanted to do, man. The confidence, knowing that you literally have got a chance to race for a championship, regardless of what happens the next 2 weeks. Congratulations, my friend.
Hi, Wesley, Dean, Jacob. Yes, I'm really happy to be here again, especially at this track. This is my track. I love it. Since when I was running NASCAR 2004 in games, I love this track. I really enjoyed the race. It was like we had to save in the beginning, We had to push everything in the end, pitting too late. Strategies here are tricky. we had that in mind, and stay safe in the end. Stay safe of the people that pitted early. Some guys pitted early, and so we need to stay out as long as we can. And when my tires say goodbye, I had to pit. I had to have them destroyed, pushing everything, all the laps, and well, we're here.
And Octavio, I got to ask you this. Obviously next week, obviously everything's kind of put on hold, obviously for the NASRA 500. But then we come back, and it's Talladega, which is obviously the ultimate wild card, which could really throw everything for a loop. And, you're locked in. You ain't got nothing to worry about when you go to Talladega. I mean, you could wreck out on the first lap and you're still racing for a championship on February 25th. I'm not trying to put any bad luck on you, but all I'm saying is, Talladega, the ultimate wild card, anybody can win. When you go to Talladega, obviously, Lamperti, your teammate, with Flame Karma, are you wanting to help him, or are you thinking about, trying to, I guess you could say, somewhat manipulate it the best that you can to where you try to maybe not help out the guys that could be a threat for you to win this championship, and maybe try to help somebody that wouldn't be a threat or not in the playoffs to try to help your chances the best that you can for the championship 6?
I'm not sure. I prefer to run with the fastest 6. The fastest to be the champion. Yes, I will try to help my teammate. I wanted to be locked in for the next round. I had in mind that Dover is my best track, so I had to practice this one and thinking about finishing it, if not winning, in the top 5. So yes, it's time to help my team. To help Richie to qualify. He had a good race today, and we won 3 Flaming Karma in the playoff in the last round. So we have to work with that to be all of us in the last round fighting for that championship. And in that case, it will be easier because we are teammates and we can work together.
Oh, I gotta ask you, Octavio, man, how much fun have you had running with NASRA? And I know the goal. You've told me this, quietly. Just me and you chatting time to time. Your goal is to make it to the eNASCAR Coca-Cola iRacing Series. I get it. I understand it. But definitely, you got to be enjoying this ride with NASRA, though. What's your thoughts of it? And obviously, what would it mean in 3 weeks' time to say you're a champion of the Xfinity Series?
I love this league. This is very professional. And I like it to be professional. We try to make the sim racing professional, to win money here, to spend time, not for a hobby, just for a hobby instead of a work. Maybe we can think this as a work, as a job, and that's what I'm trying, and that's what I fight for. I try to push this community, the Latin American community in NASCAR every week. I'm a oval coach, coacher for Latin American people. So I'm trying to make this bigger, and that's my goal, if I can say that.
Well, buddy, before I let you go, thank your sponsors. We'll see you in the next 2 weeks. Are you going to take off, or you going to go out for all 3? Go out with a bang.
Well, thank you, NASRA. Thank you, Flaming Karma Paint Shops. Thank you, Flaming Karma Racing, Jerry Pool, Byte 500, Lautaro, Richie, my family, friends, all the people that is watching the race. You guys are helping us a lot because you promote the league. I hope people like this show, and thank you guys for everything every week. You do it perfect.
Octavio Rondoletto, the Argentina in his rookie season with the Blanchard NASRA Xfinity Series. He is the first driver to make it in to the Championship 6 at Homestead. Thank you. You'll hear from him in a moment, as he'll also be translating with Lataro Lamperti. But first, let's catch up with our buddy Colin Weatherholt. Thunderbolt in motion down the stretch, just came up short at the end. You'll finish second, though, Colin. Your take of tonight's race at Dover, sir.
Yeah, tonight's race definitely started off a little slow with a lot of back-to-back cautions, but I'm glad we got some good long green flag running in there towards the second half of the race. My race specifically was kind of up and down. I didn't qualify quite as high as I would have liked to. I kind of messed up in qualifying and just tried to save some tires. I'm not too experienced here at this track. This is only my second race here. And so I think I kind of figured it out towards the end, and it was probably just a little too late. And from the sounds of it, Octavio had this place nailed.
And, Colin, obviously, like I said, as well with Octavio, we got the NASRA 500 next week, and then we go straight to Talladega. Colin, I've raced against you a couple of times. The whole season. Matter of fact, with the DSR Electric Truck Series, and then you come into, you basically wax their tails that whole season. But, you come into Talladega, you got a little bit of a cushion. You got 2 weeks to think about it. Obviously, it's probably going to change by the time you get to Talladega. But what's the mindset here in 2 weeks when you go to the Super Speedway in Alabama?
Yeah, Talladega is just all about keeping the wheels on the ground, and as you see, these cars go airborne quite a bit there. So we're just going to try to keep it rolling. I've had some crazy good luck on the Super Speedways this season and the Xfinity Series. So we're going to try to keep that luck rolling. I don't know. I never know what I'm doing there. I usually just do what my teammates tell me to do, and sometimes it works, and sometimes you pull a short straw. So we'll just head into Talladega and try to keep the wheels on the ground.
Talladega definitely will be a wild one, no doubt. Not next week, but the week after the NASRA 500. Colin, what does it mean to kind of have a little week off, get a reset, and then come back to race for this crazy event to decide where you go for the championship?
Definitely will be enjoying the week off. Maybe running some laps at Atlanta and Homestead to prepare for the end of the season, and just take some time to relax.
You're not running the NASRA 500?
No, I will not be able to make the
500. Boo! Come on, man. Why? Colin? Why?
It's a busy season for me. I work for an IndyCar team, and I'm a painter, so we're painting all the race cars right now. So
yeah, that's right, man.
Lucky to make it in here on Tuesday nights.
What is it? March 1st. March 1st, around the corner. The Grand Prix.
We'll be broadcasting that on Motorsport Mania.
That's actually, Motorsports Mania Network not only broadcasting the NASCAR season as well,
and
but
F1,
IndyCar as well, Formula One. And that, of course, on Motorsports Mania Network on YouTube. We'll post a link here. And obviously, again, it starts this weekend with the qualifying and heats at Bowman Gray, the race on Sunday night at 8 o'clock. But no, IndyCar, March 1st at the Grand Prix at St. Pete. That's a fun job, Colin. How fun is that to paint IndyCar bodies? That's got to be a pretty, cool deal. The wings, the way the cars are made, they're just awesome stealth missiles. If anybody's never been to Indianapolis, I've been to Indy twice in my career. Take it in. It is a thrilling experience, no doubt.
It's definitely cool. I've done it for the past 7 seasons. So if you see the ECR car, Ed Carpenter Racing cars, the 20 and 21, you know who painted them.
That is so damn cool. Wow, thank you. But Colin, before we let you go, man, thank your sponsors, and we know why you got a good reason to miss the NASRA 500.
Yeah, just a big thanks to the Highline Racing crew, my teammates racing with us tonight with Greg and Ryan and Bones Motorsports and DSR Electric for coming on board to the season with the team, and it's been fun, and hopefully we'll finish it off.
Well, there you go, ladies and gentlemen. There is the thoughts of Colin Weatherholt. He will finish in the number 2 position. Let's go down and join Octavio Rondoletto as he will be translator, as we've done many times this year, with the Butcher, Latoro Lamperti, who will finish on the podium in third. Latoro, a third-place finish, but man, you were right there with your teammate. Let us know your take of tonight's event at Dover, and obviously trying to now you get a win to go to the Championship 6.
Bueno, Lauti, tuviste una noche bárbara acá en Dover. Bueno, intentaste llevarte la victoria, bueno, llegaste tercero.
Fue una carrera dura, la verdad, muy áspera, muy áspera. Felicitarte primero a vos que esta pista te encanta y se nota. Vas como un avión, como el gran Jimmy, como Superman. Así que nada, fue una carrera muy buena. Tercero era lo mejor que podía lograr.
Well, it was a difficult race. He said I was invincible today, like Superman, Jimmy Johnson. I don't know. Well, he finished third, and that's okay.
And Latero, I'll ask you this. I watched you numerous times where you would, start off a little bit and then all of a sudden you would just say, screw it, I'm going to drop back. And everybody would drive right by you, and then all of a sudden you would just drive right back by them. Was tire wear, I was talking about how bad tire wear, was here, how you got to save your tires. I mean, was it that bad where you just had to just sit there and say, yeah, y'all go ahead and actually, I mean, basically what I'm asking you, how bad did it feel to actually have to have people, let people buy you before you finally, was able to just shoot right by them? I mean, what was the feeling like to just say, yeah, everybody go ahead, I'll get you here in about the next 10 laps?
Bueno, Lauti, vos venías dejando pasar a la gente cuando venía más rápida. O sea, el consumo de las cubiertas era muy alto. Se sentía mal tener que dejar pasar a todos. ¿Cómo lo pensaste?
No, la verdad que tuve muchos problemas cuidando los neumáticos. Fue muy complicado y nunca supe cómo llevar adelante bien la gestión. Así que fue muy difícil el cuidado del neumático.
Well, Latoro, go ahead. I'm sorry, Octavio. Go ahead.
No problem. He had problems with saving the tires, so it was difficult because he had to wait and learn during the race to how to save the tires, and he was complicated sometimes.
Well, Octavio, obviously, final question to Latoro, man. Ask him, obviously, how much fun has he had running with Nazareth, and what would it mean for him to get to the Championship 6? And for the first time ever in the history of Nazareth, be two Argentina drivers make it in to fight for a championship.
Bueno, Lauti, ¿cómo se siente correr la narra y estar como para clasificar en el Championship 6? Y bueno, es la primera vez en la historia de narra que va a haber dos argentinos en la final, posiblemente.
Y hay que esperar todavía a que se corran las otras dos fechas. Vos ya está adentro, así que faltaría uno más. Y no, la verdad que es lindo correr la narra. Corren bastante bien. Nadie te quiere chocar a propósito, así que está muy bien.
Well, it feels really nice. We have to wait until the end of the next two races. But he feels Nazareth is nice. It's nice league. People don't run over the other people intentionally, and that's okay. People is clean.
There you go. All right. Well, thank you very much, Lamperti. We appreciate you, man. Before I do let you go, Octavio, if you want to, let him mention his sponsors, and we'll see you guys next week for the Nazareth 500, but also the following week at Talladega.
Bueno, Lauti, te deja el lugar para darle gracias a tus sponsors y bueno, nos veremos en Talladega.
Darle las gracias a Gerard Pool, Fleming Karma, la verdad, un equipazo. Así que tremendo todo. Y darle las gracias a Octavio también, que sigo aprendiendo, intento alcanzarlo, pero se complica un poco.
Well, thanks to Flaming Gamma, Jerry Poole. It's a great team, and thanks to me.
By the way, that meat cleaver on the race car, by the way, that's not a horror movie wrap job on that race car. That is actually a butcher. He is the butcher. He is a butcher in real life. The butcher, Latoro Lamperti, will finish in the number 3 spot. Thanks again to Colin Weatherholt and Octavio Rondoletto has already punched his ticket. He's already made history in NASRA. He's the first ever foreign driver from Argentina to make his way into the championship of NASRA. Congratulations, Octavio Rondoletto. Now, I want to apologize because there has been a Canadian that has won before on the circuit. Obviously, Chris Cinnamon, the Spice Man, won last season or the season before in the NASRA DSR Truck Series. But for the Xfinity Series, he is the first driver from Argentina to make it into the championship of the Xfinity Series or in NASRA competition. We'll see what happens if he can win the championship coming up in 3 weeks' time. All right, so remember, we take off next Tuesday night. We will be off, but we won't be off because it'll be the road to the NASRA 500. We're going to take a break. As you see the upcoming schedule, there it is. Talladega in 2 weeks. Atlanta, Homestead. Octavio Rondoletto knows he's going to the Championship 6, the NASRA 500 next week. Here's a word about it, and Jacob and I wrap it up at Dover next.
Reach up there and pull those belts tight one more time. Drivers, start your engines!
Upcoming schedule during the break. Upcoming schedule coming back from TV timeout. There it is. Talladega in 2 weeks. Atlanta and Homestead. 3 awesome racetracks. Jacob Reeves, your final thoughts of tonight at Dover and the NASRA 500 countdown clock is now down to what, 5 days from now?
Yeah, give or take. I mean, honestly, Wes, that clock is just straight up ticking. It's getting closer and closer.
Yeah,
6 days. Yeah. Hell, who's counting? But well, obviously you are. But I got my days so mixed up, obviously. But the days
somebody else we know too.
Closer and closer. Yeah, obviously, we got that one lined up as well. But Dover. It's like I talked about. This track, obviously, it looks easy, looks simple. It is not, and that's why they call it the Monster Mile. That's why that's literally why this place is literally a pain in the tail to race around, to try to get around. It's hard to race, and you heard Octavio, talk about it. Obviously, he loves this track, but obviously it doesn't matter if you love the track. You still got to put the time in. You still got to get out there. You still got to practice. Practice what you would do in this situation, what you would do in that situation, what you would do in, whatever. And a lot of people, obviously, maybe they didn't put the time in that Rondoletto had. Some of them did, but Rondeletto was just, the better of them. And another thing, too, you were talking about NASRA 500. A lot of people is going to be practicing certain situations. What will I do behind, this amount of cars? What will I do in front of this amount of cars? What will I do in this particular situation? So a lot going on right here in the next couple of, days or week or so right here with NASRA. It's going to be good. I mean, literally, it's going to be the best thing on YouTube as far as iRacing goes.
By the way, props to our 20-plus drivers of the NASRA Xfinity Series presented by Blanchard Towing. They went 100 laps caution-free in that third and final stage. The strategy of green flag pit stops, some scenarios that went on around the way. We did have a couple of thrills and spills, but no caution flag was called. And when it's said and done, Octavio Rondeletto's 6th win of the year. He has punched his ticket into the championship 6. Remember, next week we are off because of the NASRA 500. In 2 weeks, the semifinals for the playoffs continue at Talladega. Rolling in for the Season 3 champion. Who will it be? We know Octavio Rondeletto has won 3 of the last 4 playoff races, and again, he will battle whatever happens at Homestead. He really didn't answer my question, Jacob, when I asked him jokingly. But I say this in all seriousness, though, Jacob. He can take off at Talladega. He could take off at Atlanta and not run for 3 weeks. He talked about being on vacation. Hell, he might just do that and then come back at Homestead and run for the championship. Because he's been that good this year, he's earned that right to have those mulligans if he chooses to do so.
Yeah, I mean, literally, if you look at it, back, with, say, Joey Logano, it's very, very similar to what happened with Joey Logano. When he ended up winning that very first race in the final round, and he basically had 2 weeks to basically screw off if he wanted to. Technically, this is 3 weeks, with the NASRA 500. But, it doesn't care. He doesn't care. Talladega, obviously, that's, obviously, they're racing, for the sponsorship, they're racing for the money and everything else. But his main goal that he's got to worry about now, he's got to be looking forward to Homestead. That's what his goal is. That's the same way that Joey Logano was, what he was practicing, with the way he was doing, when he won his very first, I believe it was Las Vegas. He wasn't even worried about, I think it was, Homestead and whatever the last race, Martinsville. He wasn't even worried about both of those races. He was already locked in. He didn't care. All he's worried about is going to Phoenix for the NASCAR Cup Series, but this is going to be Homestead. So, Talladega, you ain't really got to practice. You just got to get lucky. And then Old Atlanta, you got to practice, and you got to know how to save tires. Well, Octavio knows how to save tires, obviously. Homestead's going to be the same thing. I'm telling you, baby, it's going to get good here in the neighborhood. Like you say, it's going to get good in the neighborhood over the next 3 to 4 weeks.
And not at Applebee's. He's Jacob Reeves, the Redneck announcer. I'm Wesley Outland. Thank you, Dean Hopton. Dean, I'll let you chime in real quickly, boss. Thanks for covering for me in my late absence, but your take of tonight at Dover. We got a lot of fun weeks ahead, man, especially I know you're excited. You're giddy. That's the new word, giddy. You're giddy about the graphics for the NASRA 500, the Great American Sim Race coming up next week.
I am. I'm giddy like a racehorse, actually, bolting out of the gate, as these drivers will be bolting out of the gate, of course, for the 500. But a little slow and steady at the start of the race, so a few cautions, but then bang, it flowed, my friend, all the way to the green flag and to the checkered flag at the end there. So absolutely fantastic. I've got a few more to go this evening, but thank you very much there Wesley. Jacob, always a legend. And everybody else out there in chat, you are the real legends. Thank you.
And don't forget, ladies and gentlemen, go to NASRA-racing.com for more information. You want to get signed up for the NASRA 500, follow them also for the details, Facebook, X, Instagram as well. And don't forget, tomorrow night, the NASRA Cup Series will be in action. Make sure you plan to join us for coverage tomorrow night with Dean Hopton and myself on the call. Jacob Reeves will actually be racing in that event. He doesn't race that much anymore, but he does run in the Cup Series, and the NASCAR Cup Series will be in action tomorrow night. I believe it is oh my goodness, come on here, Wesley, help me out. Chicagoland Speedway. That's right, we're in Chicagoland, the virtual Windy City tomorrow night. Chicagoland Speedway. So make sure you join us for the NASCAR Cup Series. And again, All events, just want to remind you, all events are off next week because of the NASRA 500. We're not off. We have the road to the NASRA 500, and it begins next Monday. But the DSR truck, the Xfinity, the Cup, everything else, Cop's truck, all of them are off next week. And, of course, remember, join us for Chicagoland tomorrow night. Thursday night, because of technical difficulties on Monday, not airing the Atlanta NASRA DSR electric truck race, that race in its entirety will air this Thursday with Jacob Dean and myself as well. That is what's to come in the days ahead, the week ahead, for the road to the NASRA 500 on the NASRA 360 Racing Network. For always, TJ Moore, the race director, for Cody Knott, Jay and Brady LaBeouf, everybody behind the NASRA organization of sim racing. For Bigglestein Hopton on production, Jacob Reeves, I'm Wesley Outland. Congratulations, Octavio Rondoletto, winner tonight here at the Millie's Restaurant and Catering 200. Good evening from virtual Dover. We'll see you in 2 weeks at Talladega.